Yo, what's up? Welcome to today's stream, September the 9th, 9/9/23. It's a few days until my favorite car, 911. Anyways, I don't really have much of an agenda today. I just figured I should stream since I said I would. I may work on some code stuff. I don't know, I may edit some pictures, who knows. We'll see how this goes. So I guess what I could do in the meantime is do a little bit of organization. Last night I started working on a couple of playbooks. I need to do a few more actually. And for me, a playbook is just like me documenting things so that in the future, if I need to do something, I can do it quickly. And yeah, I also need to create that repo that backs my Obsidian vault, get that uploaded to GitHub. And yeah, so I guess we can just jump into that. I don't think anyone's here. It's just me today. Let's go over to my screen. I was cleaning up all these chats that are here that don't do anything for me. They can improve their user experience a lot, and I'm gonna talk down because like I did a while ago, like I did like make a request to come over here and work on this because there's a lot to be desired with just how usable this is. In any case, it's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and close this. So last night, wrong thing. Last night I was working on this playbook that I kind of alluded to earlier. I did a little organization. So I'm not 100% organized yet. So I have a lot of these streams that need to go into my stream directory. Let me show that off right quick. Oops. Oh, it's content, I'm tripping. Yeah, so typically after I do a recording in an eCam, there's some work that I need to do, and then I move it over into the streams directory, which as you can see, I kind of split them up based off of what it is that I'm working on. And if you look closely, I have one called Devlog, and the last one that I uploaded, or not uploaded, the last one that I transferred here was these. But notice here that they don't have the correct title, right? So the title should just be whatever this is, like whatever the date is. All right, I don't understand why it needs to stop my music. I have a whole phone. It's just like, yeah, just ring on the phone, goddamn it, shit. We're gonna do streaming until this evening. All right, so yeah, back to what I was getting at. I need to rename all of these, and there is a dumb way to do this, and then there's a better way to do this. In my opinion, the better way is to write a small shell script that can do this. Typically, I would name these in the stream, and they get named automatically. So these were all just, that's the original name. However, in certain cases, eCam will add this other bit of information that I don't like. And that makes finding things hard because typically when I want to search for something, I do something such as this. I'll do, let's say I want to say this date or whatever. Well, this is what I'm going to search for, except I wouldn't do 2 dots. I would do this. Now, I have no idea if oh, look at that. So I have no idea like what I have, like if I have a stream for that day, but are you sure yes. Like I didn't even want you to open, like what the hell, go away. Are you sure you want to exit? Yes, go away. Yeah, anyway, so I need to fix all of this, and then I also need to come in here and do the same thing. And then I need to figure out which one of these are live streams and which one of these are like things for work, which one of this is, or these are content for other things, and organize it. And as you can see, I haven't done it in a while. Let's see how many I have that need to be done. 81, my gosh. Okay, I'm really behind. Oh, and part of this processing is to remove these SRT files, which to be honest have basically nothing in them other than like, let's look at it. Yo, what's going on, Aries? Wait, why did this open here? I'm doing a little bit of figuring out what I need to do. I finally got my new hard drives. Well, I got the replacement hard drives, and it finally, like, you know, the RAID finally got built. That took a full 3 days of processing for that to happen. So now I have more storage. I'll just say that. And I think I already need to go ahead and buy some new drives preemptively. Yeah, let's proceed. I can show that off right quick. Give me one moment. So you see here, I have 17 terabytes free, although this is kind of misleading because while I do have 17 terabytes free, I also have about 2 terabytes worth of data on this SSD that needs to be taken off. I have like another terabyte of data on this other SSD that I can't show you because it's plugged in, that needs to be taken off. I have like a terabyte of data on my MacBook Pro that needs to be offloaded. And yeah. I also want to pull down all of my originals, like my original video files from Apple Photos, which right now all of that's in the cloud. I think I want to say I get like 8 or 10 terabytes. I don't know. I have a family plan. I have Apple One. So I get like, maybe it's 5 terabytes. It could be 5 terabytes. So I have like 5 terabytes of things that I want to pull down because I hate the cloud. Like I'm not even gonna lie, I hate the cloud. It's slow and it requires internet. So yeah, what you're watching me do right now is just like figure out what I need to do. Me looking at the work that I need to do and me not wanting to do it because it's like tedious. So like each one of these right here, because I have this new format for how I'm running these streams, and it's to enable me to do transcription, which is actually what you're seeing here. I'm using the Whisper model to transcribe my audio. And because of that, I need to get the audio from the video. And it's a lot easier if I just record it separately to begin with versus if I, you know, just record a video. Then there's an extra processing step that I have to do where I run it through a tool where it can like split out the audio for me and then return that audio. So it's just like I may as well just have it here automatically. Let me put this on the thing. Need to invest into another computer so I can run my code on it. The computer I got now saying that it can't run because of memory. I don't know how I feel about this statement. Here's why. You don't need much to program. Like let's be real. Like programming is not a demanding task on a machine. Now, I guess nowadays it can seem like it because a lot of folks, and I'm not saying you, I'm saying like the industry as a whole, it seems to be that no one cares about performance. So they write shitty code, which gets shipped into shitty products, which result in a shitty user experience, which makes you feel like you need to buy a whole new computer, even though your computer is orders of magnitude faster than any other computers that were used to, you know, basically launch this technological revolution, right? We sent a man into space. Well, men. We landed them on the moon with computers that are less powerful than like I don't know, the first iPhone. So there's that. Also, I mean, I'm not saying that I've done much, but when I was programming, I didn't have like this top spec machine. And to be honest, my M1 Ultra that I have now, it's not because I do a lot of, I mean, yeah, I program, sure, I do that, but I don't need that to program, like real talk. Now, I will say that, you know, Xcode, maybe you do need an M1 Ultra. Maybe it's a shitty product. But I do other things outside of coding. So the reason why I have like, you know, all these powerful machines is because I do other things that actually require it. I don't game, so like it's not, and honestly if I did, a Mac is not the solution. But I do like, I used to do music, which to be honest, even music doesn't require that much, especially when you can offload it to external DSP, which is what, I mean, Apollo does that. But yeah, it's like the photography that I do. Yeah, technically, having a faster machine helps, but typically you're editing just a single photo. Now there are instances where, and I can show that actually. Well, maybe, let's see. Let me put in one of these SD cards into my thingamajig right quick. And let's see if I have any of these files on here. Maybe I deleted them, let's see. Okay, so you see all these raw files right here, right? Let's see how large, let's see how many gigabytes of raw files this is. So this is 13 gigabytes of the same picture, essentially. So if we look at here, it's gonna take a second to open. So this is what I mean by it's like, I need a fast computer because of this right here, right? So this is a 71 odd megabyte raw file from a Sony A7R5. 61 megapixels, and a megapixel is about 1,000 pixels, more or less, right? Now, this is I think this is a 12-bit image. Yeah, I think it's 12-bit, maybe it's 14. I'm gonna say 12. Someone correct me if I'm wrong here. 12-bit image, so like, there's a lot of data that needs to be crunched here, and that's just to display it. Now, let's say, for instance, I wanted to take all of these images and let me kind of cycle through them, and you're going to notice that they don't look very different, but they are different. You won't see the differences until, and it's slow as fuck. So, all right, we're still, yeah. All right, so we have these images here. Now, if I go to the last image that I took, it's going to look different. You'll notice that this small little point right here is in focus. But then let's come to this last image. And you see it's loading. Also, it's loading from my SD card, which the fastest that can be read from here is like 300 megabytes a second, which sounds fast, but it's not that fast. One day it'll load. Just give me a while. Yo, what's up, casual economists? Saturday, I mean, honestly, the weather's nice. Like, there's nice breezing. We have a cool front. Let's see what the temperature is. It's currently 30 degrees outside, which is, well, now it's 31. When I went out earlier, it was 20, 28, 29, I think. Anyway, so you see here that like this image looks different, even though it's the same thing. There's another piece of it in focus. So what I was doing was something called focus stacking, which means that I take a bunch of images, and honestly, I probably should have, had my width a little bit bigger. But anyway, I took a bunch of images and then I'm going to then like merge them. In fact, I've already merged them. I'm not going to do it, but these are some of the things that in photography, you need a fast computer because you're doing like these really insane operations. So, I mean, some people are, I don't know, not everyone's doing this. But then there's also video, which, if you're trying to do like 4K or 6K or 8K, I don't do 8K. I also don't do 6K. But if the new Sony A7 S4 comes out and it's 6K, I will shoot in 6K. I will shoot in 6K. And then that'll give me a little bit more room to move my frame or my composition around. But in any case, there's a lot of things that I do that's unrelated to coding. So yeah, honestly, you should be able to get by on a MacBook Air. So if you're looking to buy a new computer, and honestly, I don't understand why you need that much RAM for coding. Like, I mean, your program is unlikely to be more than a few kilobytes. Maybe some megabytes, maybe. But if I show you the amount of code that's necessary to produce, megabyte file sizes or megabyte executable sizes, you would be like, yeah, no, those are large projects. Let me put this up. Do you think a flash drive will work if I move my big files on a flash drive, free up actual memory, the actual memory card? What do you mean by memory card? Help me understand what's going on with your system. Or if you want, if you're up for it, I can drop a link and you can hop on stream and you can just talk to me about it. And that may be easier. Either or, let me know. But I'm not sure if I understand your question right now. All right, so while I wait on a response, I'm going to show this other thing. So I was building these playbooks, and the one that I built last night was for. And when I say built, I really just mean document, like document things that I've done. So this is how I can convert my audio files from a stream into a transcript, and I can show you that transcript that I produced last night in SRT format. We'll open this. This is all right. This is starting to piss me off. Like it seems like Mac OS gets progressively worse. Like every year they do something. Like I've clicked this button always with several times and it refuses to update. It's really annoying. All right, so this whole thing right here was produced using this workflow that I just did. And this is the basically every word more or less that I said in my last stream, which was last night. Yeah, I could do that. Do I have to get on my I would probably say so. Probably. I will send you a link. And when I say you, I mean I'm just gonna post a link publicly. And yeah. Give me a second. Let me turn on interview mode right quick. Okay, we got interview mode on, and yeah, I'll go ahead and pop it up. Honestly, anybody can join. I don't really give a shit. Yeah. So yeah, I'll wait on you, and we'll yeah, you'll pop up at some point in time, I guess. All right. So let me go back to me figuring out why is my life so difficult. Come back to this content directory. Go to my footage. This needs to be cleaned up. I need to write a script that can, if I come across a file like this, change the name to what it should be. I'm going to do it once here just to show what it should be. Essentially, it should be this right here. And then I don't care about the time. Like time is irrelevant to me. All right, that's what it should be. Oh, okay, give me a second. I see someone's in. Give me a second. Let me assign US guest 1, and then we're gonna go to me and a guest. All right, you're muted right now, just FYI. So you'll have to unmute yourself. Oh wait, did I mute you? Maybe I muted you. Give me a second. All right, say something. So see if I want to see if I can hear you.
You hear me?
I can barely hear you, yes, but it's not your fault. Give me a second. I gotta stop my music. It's because of the way that my audio is routed. All right, now I can hear you fine. What's going on? How you doing?
So my name is Quentin. Nice. Well, I know your name is William, right?
Yeah.
Well, I have a problem, and I need your advice.
Sure. Yeah. What's up?
So, well, I'm a computer science major, and I'm trying to run my code right on my laptop. My school laptop, and not my school laptop, but like I use it for school and stuff like that. But it's saying it's running out of memory. It let me run it before, but it said it was running out of memory to order to run it. So I don't know if I need another computer to order to do that, or if I need to free up some space to do that.
All right. So when you say running out of memory, all right, let's figure out what that means first. Is this storage, aka the amount of space you have on your hard drive, or is this RAM, which is what memory is? Like, which one is it saying?
It's the storage.
Your storage. Okay. So how large is your hard drive or SSD or whatever it is?
It's only 60.00 gigabytes.
60 gigabytes total. Okay. And how much free space do you have?
Only have like 152 MB.
Megabyte. Oh, okay. Yeah. That is the reason why. What system is this? Is this a Windows system, a Mac OS system, or a Linux system?
This is a Windows system.
Windows. Okay. So I'm going to say, well, gosh, there's a way that you can go and see like what your applications are. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much about Windows. I think there's a way for you to see what's taking up the most space on your drive. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I've done that, and I try to delete stuff, and some of the stuff is like Visual Studio that I need, you know.
Hmm.
So Visual Studio is taking like a lot of memory on it. So, and the stuff that it require you to do in order to code, it require a lot of memory, you know. So
So with the
that's
Visual Studio
something.
thing, what did you install? Because I know that Visual Studio has like a bunch of different components that you may not necessarily need. So when you get that installer, how it's like, all right, do you want to install? Well, the last time I did it, they had like Azure stuff. They had like SQL data tools, and then they had like other language runtimes. Did you install everything, or did you only install the things that you needed?
I need to store the things that I needed.
Okay,
So,
okay. Do you
like
have any?
I'm a dot .NET developer. So
Repeat that.
I'm a dot .NET developer. Like I'm a beginner dot .NET developer. So
Okay, okay, okay. So you have 6 gigs. And I imagine that most of this is taken up by your operating system. I don't know how big Windows is, but I'm
yeah,
assuming it's at least
yeah.
10 gigabytes because Mac OS is at least 10 gigabytes. I know Visual Studio, it ranges in size between 1 gigabyte and 20 gigabytes, depending on what you have installed. Do you have any games or any media like music or photos or videos installed on or not installed, but on your hard drive?
Well, I really don't do anything besides do work and code.
Okay, okay.
I started a project, so that's why I want to finish it. And it's a lot I can it's a lot I want to do with it. So
Are you able to share your screen?
you want me to share my screen? Like
Yeah.
I'm on the phone right now, so
Okay. Well, if you can, I'm not sure if you can.
I had to get on my laptop to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
Try to do that, and we could walk through it. But in general,
Yeah, I
you
can.
can't. Oh, what was that? Oh, you froze up on me. Still there?
I can. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. I was gonna say that, and to answer
Yeah,
your question, yes, it would help if you have an external hard drive and you were able to offload certain programs onto that. However, there are certain programs that I wouldn't offload to that, and that's primarily because then you'd be tied to having that thing plugged in all the time, and also it'll increase latency. All right. So let's say, for instance, you were to put Visual Studio on an external hard drive. Uh, it could cause issues. Whereas if you were to instead put it on a second hard drive in your system, that would be okay, like a second internal hard drive. But I don't know if laptops allow you to do that these days. I'm not really sure of the state of laptops at the moment. Oh, I think you froze on me again. Uh-oh. All right. I don't know if it's just me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm a end. I don't know if you can hear me, but if you can, I'm gonna end this because you're frozen. I'm gonna end this because you're frozen, and I'm gonna come back to here. And yeah, just hop back on whenever you can. All right, so I'm gonna start my music back up right quick. Give me a moment. All right, cool. Let's come back to here. So while I think he's gonna try to switch over to his computer, but I guess this is something useful to know for everyone. Is if you're on a system. Okay, yeah. If you're on a system, then you actually do want to ensure that you have enough hard drive space. So also it's important to differentiate between hard drive space and storage, or I'm sorry, storage space and memory. So I'm going to open up my system thing right here, if I can find that. So we'll go into about this Mac, and we'll look at some things. Let's go to more info. Wait, what the hell is this? Man, I don't understand why they felt the need to change everything. All right, here we are. This is what I was expecting to see. They just added a new step for me to see actual useful information. All right, so here, this is memory, right? So memory is, it's the stuff that it's random access, first of all, which means that you can access any piece of RAM or any address in constant time. You don't have to seek for it. You don't have to search for it. It's an address. So you just give it the address and your system will then pull whatever data is in that address or address block. Whereas storage is a little bit different. Even though we have SSDs, I'm going to pretend as if we're still using hard drives because, I mean, that's kind of what I grew up with. And typically, you're going to store data on physical medium, and it's spinning. And then there's a head, almost like a record players, if any of you are familiar with vinyl. Except it's reading. It has like this magnetic, what do you call that thing? Like a magnetic sensor, essentially. The best analog I can give is tape. So if you've ever used a cassette tape and you put it inside of a tape player, there's the tape head, and then there's the tape, and it's spinning the little things, but the tape is moving linearly. And as the tape moves, it's picking up those magnetic fluctuations and doing some things. Your hard drive is not that dissimilar, except it's spinning in a circle really, really fast, and there are several playheads, and each one of those are reading information. Now, because this is a physical disk, the information is stored in a certain place on the disk. So you have to search for it, essentially. So once you figure out where on the disk it is, there's like a table on the hard drive. Oh, we have them back. Let's see. So we're going to assign to guest 1. All right, I got to stop my music. Give me a second. Or actually, I don't have to stop my music. I can just turn it down like a smart person. Okay. All right, let's go to. All right, what's up? Or wait, no, maybe you. Yeah. Can you hear me?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, are you on your computer now?
Yeah, I'm on my computer.
Okay. Are you able to share your screen? I actually don't know.
Yeah, I can share my screen. Yes, I share screen.
Okay. All right. Cool. I've never dealt with the share screen in this software, so we're gonna discover this together.
All right. Let me see. Share screen. Sorry, but Google Chrome is required for screen sharing. So I know Google Chrome will do it.
Okay. I did not know that. All right, well, this is good to know. I don't think that you can install Google Chrome because you're out of space, as you said. So let me here's what I'm gonna do, because like I don't know Windows very well, but I do have Windows, so I'm gonna open up Windows, and I imagine can you see my screen at all? Or I can see you. You can see me. Do you have Zoom on your computer?
Yes.
Okay. All right, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna send you a Zoom link. Wait, what? Give me a second, man. So I'm gonna go back to my regular screen share for everyone else, and we're gonna do a new meeting, and I'm gonna send you the link in your chat, in Ecamm chat. So look there. All right, let's copy this meeting. Is it Command-Shift-I? Yep. Okay. All right. So yeah, join that, and then I can share my screen with you there. So we'll go ahead and just share screen now, and you'll see my screen pop up whenever you join. What the?
Would you send to that again? My fault.
It's in the interview chat. Like the window,
chat?
Yeah. In I guess the browser that you're in. All right, man, this is about to become interesting. Y'all are about to see how much like I'm gonna start looking dumb now, because I'm like, I don't even know the first thing to do. Windows looks different. There used to be a start menu right here. What the fuck? Okay, you can still do okay, you can still do that. Okay. Programs. Okay. Are you able? Did you join? I actually don't know. I don't. Are you muted? Oh, you muted yourself. No, I'm not activating shit. Are you there?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess while he figures out technical issues, what I'm going to show here is if you come into whatever this is, installed apps, you should be able to sort this by the size. So I would go by large to small, and that'll tell you your biggest thing eventually, I guess. On my machine, it looks like I have nothing. So if you had like whatever your biggest thing is, if it's something that you need, keep it. And then just move down the list, right? So in my case, I think I do have Visual Studio installed on here, maybe. Maybe I don't. Oh no, I have the installer. Okay. I'll leave it to Microsoft to like, you download a program and the program is an installer. It's not the actual thing. You haven't, yes, I do understand this. Which one of these versions of Visual Studio do you have? Did you freeze on me again? Or did I mute you? I don't think I did. I can't hear you if you're saying anything.
I have Visual Studio 2022.
Professional, community, enterprise. Which one?
I have community.
Community. Okay. Okay. Let's go to install. I don't think I'm actually going to install it. I think I'm just going to go through all of the. Wait, what the fuck? Is there an update? Oh my gosh. No, I'm going to put this on another monitor. Cool.
I think I'm in a Zoom now.
All right. Mute yourself in Zoom. 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 Mute yourself. Are you muted in Zoom? Give a thumbs up if yes. I can't hear you. You're gonna have to work with me. Thumbs up if yes. Okay. All right. Testing. Okay. All right. Say something on your end, or unmute yourself, because I can mute you. By the way, you don't have to mute yourself. I'll mute you if I need to mute you. Are you there? I need you to respond. I don't know if things are going well. Let's do this. I don't know why this is guest one. We'll make you. Yeah, there we are. Can you hear me? You got it. You're muted. I can't hear you. Yo, I need you to unmute yourself. If you can't unmute yourself, I'm gonna have to drop.
You hear me?
Yeah.
You hear me? 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 You hear me?
All right. Here's what I need you to do. Mute Zoom. Don't turn on your mic on Zoom. And then unmute yourself here in Ecamm, the thing that we started initially. You got it? Give me a hand signal if you understand. Cause like okay, all right. And give me a hand signal when you're done and I'll unmute you. And by the way, I'm looking here. Okay, all right. So we're gonna do a test. Test 1, 2. All right. Say something.
You hear me?
Perfect. All right, cool. So all right. So you should be able to see my screen here in Zoom now, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when you did this install, let's make this bigger. Which one of these things did you install? Because this is these are the components I was saying, like, you don't need all of this. You're not doing, like, .NET is just a runtime, a framework. You don't need, like, for instance, you don't need Unity. If I don't know if you have it. Obviously, I can't know. But, like, you don't need Unity. You probably don't need game development. You probably don't need desktop development. You probably don't need UWP development. You probably don't even need MAUI development. Chances are you don't even need .NET desktop development or Visual Studio extension development or the Linux.
I downloaded the first one, ASP.net.
ASP.net. Okay. And that was the only
That's
one?
the only thing I have. That's the
Okay.
only thing I have, yeah.
So this should take up around 10 gigabytes or so, right? On your machine. So when you go to that thing that I was saying to go to earlier, where you go to your installed apps and you. Okay.
I'm gonna pull up Visual Studio right now.
No. Pull up this installed apps. Pull up exactly what I'm saying to pull up. And the way I got to this was I pressed this command on my. What's that? What's that? Okay, so the way I got to that was I pressed the Windows key. I don't know, for me it's just command, and then I typed in programs, and then this thing right here, add or remove programs, came up. I opened that and it took me to this, and then what I did was I went to the sort by and I sorted from large to small. And let me know when you've done that as well, and then tell me what the first 5 things are in your list.
All right, give me a second.
Okay. Why is Microsoft Teams on here? What the hell is this shit? I don't even know why I'm uninstalling this. It's not like I even use Windows. I don't even know when the last time I opened this up was. Oh, maybe it was 2022. I'm looking at, it's at the last version of Visual Studio. What year is this? 2023. What was the last version of Visual Studio? Let's see.
Maybe 2019, I think. I'm kind of guessing though.
What was that?
I'm pulling up right now, so give me a second.
Okay.
It's my computer's slow. My computer's
yeah.
slow.
Don't worry about it. Like I can still do other stuff while you load. Just let me know when it's up, and I'll return back. All right, so I guess that is the latest version, 2022. Okay. Interesting. It's almost 2024, but all right, sure, we'll go with that. All right. Yeah. So what I was getting at earlier, and this is for the stream, by the way. Like I have other people watching, so I gotta be somewhat entertaining. So we have memory, which is different from storage, right? So running out of memory is a little bit different from running out of storage. Now, here's why it matters how much storage you have free on your computer. Most computers or most computer systems don't have enough RAM to meet every need. So what we do is we create something called swap, which is just some pre-allocated space on a hard drive that can be used when there's not enough RAM for the system. So essentially we would swap unused, or not unused, but RAM that isn't being used actively or as much, and we'll write that to disk. And then if we need that information and it's known that it's on disk, we would go to swap and retrieve it and then put it into RAM, right? Now, that process is slow because your hard drive is orders of magnitude slower. In fact, let's go to ChatGPT and see. I don't remember how many orders of magnitude, but it's at least 2. Are you up? You got it? You got it, Quinn?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me what the first 5 are.
Yeah, I'm here. Well, all I see is apps, other, temporary files.
Wait, repeat that?
I see install apps, others, and temporary files.
And installed apps. I wonder if there's a lag. Anyone who's watching on the stream, can you all let me know how's the audio on your end? Can you share your screen? Are you there?
You want me to share my screen?
Yeah. Audio's good? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, well,
Share my screen.
I'm not sure because like either there's a lag or you're taking forever to respawn. And I'm assuming there's a lag because technology is a thing. Give me a second to stop my share because you won't be able to share. All right, share your screen now. Let's see what we can have. What happens? Oh, and by the way, appreciate it, casual comments. Thank you.
All right, I'm sure.
Okay. Okay. You're not in the place that I asked you to go to. So, again, press the Windows key and type programs. There is a lag. That's what it is. Okay. There is a lag. This is good for me to know because like if I may have to switch my tools if the lag continues. All right, you see where it says add or remove programs?
And the only thing comes up is command or add and remove programs.
Yeah, that's it. You remember the next step from here? We're going to sort it from largest to smallest so that we don't have to search through all the things.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to do. But my computer's slow.
Honestly, I blame this on Windows. Like the way I would do this on a Mac is I would go to the folder and type ls-a or LA actually, and then that would just show me all of the things because it's just there. And I think with Windows they have to like I don't know. I don't understand why Windows is the way it is.
Yeah, so what we're going to like not even registering.
Well, I mean it'll take a while. That's fine. What you could try is, I don't know. We'll just wait. It's fine. It probably won't take that long. I'm curious, like, if this is a school computer, why did they only give you 60 gigabytes of RAM, or not RAM, a 60 gigabyte hard drive?
This is a computer that I bought from Amazon, and I got it for school, so it was not enough. Like I didn't buy like a expensive one, you know. So.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at is that like 60 gigabytes was a small amount 15 years ago, and hard drives are cheap, and I mean cheap. I mean like you can get. Actually, hold on. I actually don't know. Before I start making up numbers, let me go and see.
Small, right?
What's that?
Large to small, right?
Yeah. Large to small. Yeah. So I think you would agree with me here, right? $35 is cheap for a hard drive with 250 gigabytes. That's what I'm getting at. Where it's like 60 gigabytes was small when I was a kid, and I was a kid 20 years ago. That's why I'm like, I didn't even know that they still would sell hard drives that small. So what I think you will need to do, like there's no way around it, and it's gonna be a pain in the ass. You need to upgrade your hard drive. You don't need to buy a new computer. I'm gonna be real. Like you can if you want to, but if you do buy a new computer, I hope you would know, like, it may not seem like you want to do it this way, but spend more money up front, because the alternative is you spend more money over the long term. So let's say, for instance, you end up buying a new computer. Well, technically you've bought two computers because you bought one that wasn't sufficient for your growth over time. So what I like to tell people is, if you're going to buy a machine and then get them, like, just spend the money, because like the more money you spend on that machine, the longer it can last you, which is cheaper over time. You just have a higher upfront cost. So let's say, for instance, if you spend $200 more, I'm just making these numbers up, I don't actually know, but let's say you spend $200 more, and that $200 allows you to use your machine for an additional 2 years. Well, if you amortize that cost over 24 months, it becomes negligible, versus if you bought a machine that's $200 cheaper, and now you're forced to buy a machine after 18 months. So it's like, let's say, for instance, you spend $400 in year one, and then like 18 months later, you have to spend another $400 plus inflation. So let's say $500. You spent $900, like in less than 3 years for a machine. Whereas if you maybe spend $750, maybe that machine could last you for 2 or 3 years. So you effectively lower your costs over the longer run. All right, here's something that I'm seeing right here. You see mail and calendar, 7.49 gigabytes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So there are two options you could do. And I mean, do you use the mail app on your computer? Like, can you just go to the internet and use the client there?
Yes.
Then like click on that little ... thing and see what your options are. Advanced options. I don't want you to go to uninstall yet. Like, if we can just remove attachments or whatever, then better. But if we just need to get you working, the uninstall will be the fastest approach. And then you would have to go to the internet to get to your email and all that kind of stuff. I'm of the opinion that I'll just go to the internet to get my email. I don't need it on my machine. But maybe you travel a lot. I don't know. So if you travel a lot, yeah, it's important to have it on your machine so that you can, respond to emails when you're mobile, that kind of thing. But how many emails are you sending and receiving a day?
Well, I really don't send out much emails. The only emails I send is from school, so that's the only emails I send, or from work. That's why I don't work, but like I do send email, like I'm looking for work. So
do you use the mail app to do that, or do you normally go online to do it?
I go online and do that.
Well, uninstall this thing. You'll be good. You can get your calendar online too. So this will at least get you about 7 gigabytes back. And then I guess from here it's going to be, well, I guess what we can try to see is what are your largest files. And I don't know how you do that on Windows. So give me a second to go to my Windows thing to see if like how to do that. Because like, I'm being honest when I say I don't actually use Windows. I don't really know anything about Windows. Is it file? No.
Yeah, you mostly use Mac.
I only use Mac. Well, in Linux too, but in my mind they're the same, because Linux is a rip-off of Unix. It's the free, like they basically re-implemented Unix. Well, technically Linux is the kernel. I'm talking about GNU. GNU is basically all of the tools that were in Unix, the whole philosophy, they just rewrote it. And typically we ship, or not we, but they ship GNU with Linux kernel. Okay. And this is, I don't even know what the hell is this? System, maybe? All right, anybody here who's watching, don't just watch me struggle. I know y'all use Windows. How do I do this shit? How do I figure out what's the biggest files on a Windows machine? I know how to do this on oh wait, is it storage? Maybe this is it. Oh, look at that, I found it. Never mind, look at that. And all right, so after you uninstall your oh, it's finished. Okay, so after that, go to system and storage. I'm gonna go back to you.
All right. It's gonna take a minute though. You already know how it is.
No, that's fine. I'm not. You're good. And I have a real, so like, let's say for instance, you end up having to just get a new hard drive. You're gonna have to reinstall Windows, which at that point,
Yeah.
I would give you like a decision to make. You could reinstall Windows, or you could just say fuck Windows for life. I'm not telling you to do this, but like you could just say, all right, I want something that's a little bit more efficient. You could install Linux on here. But I guess if you want, well, I mean, .NET works on Linux too. You could use .NET Core. Because I think I have .NET on here. Let me check my system. I actually don't know. I might be lying to you. No, I do have .NET. Yeah, so I can definitely write C#, F#, VB, ASP.NET, like I can do all the things here. Now I don't think I can do what do you call that thing? Shit, what do they call it? There's something on Windows where it's like you build desktop applications. I forget what they call it, but like I can't do that because that uses Windows and all that other stuff. All right, anyway, so we see here, oh, it's still calculating. Okay. So it says that your installed apps are using 50 gigabytes. Wow. You have other, and I guess other is like your file, so you probably can't delete that. So let's hope that you have enough free. You have 8.4 gigabytes free. After here, like, you're going to be cutting it close. You're probably going to end up having to uninstall applications that you don't use at all, or you're going to have to make decisions of just like, okay, yeah, I have this application, maybe I'll use it, but you may just uninstall it anyway, just because you need the space.
Yeah.
And
So you're not gonna do all of this, like install the hard drive.
What's that?
So you're not gonna do all of this, like this to install a hard drive, right?
Well, what do you mean by was installing a hard drive?
No, I'm just saying like for like more memory.
This is space. We got to be clear. If you're doing computer science, we got to use the right terms. Memory is not this. This is space. Okay. This is storage. Memory is another thing. Like, erase that from your mind. If you're talking to people who know what they're doing, you're not gonna come off great. So memory is your RAM. That's the thing that it goes away whenever you start your machine up, or I'm sorry, when you turn your machine off and you turn it back on. You load stuff from your storage into RAM. And what your issue is actually storage at the moment. Yeah, you could install a new hard drive, but the issue is that because you're on a laptop, and I don't think that you have more than one drive bay, you're either going to need to purchase external tools so that you can then copy all of the data from this hard drive onto the new hard drive, which, like, that's money that you have to spend, or you have to go to like a service provider that can do that for you, which again is money that you'll have to spend. Or the alternative is if you get a new hard drive, you just reinstall Windows and you just start over from scratch, which, that's fine. The alternative is you install, like, you don't get a new hard drive and you just install Linux on here. Linux is much lighter weight. With a 60 gigabyte hard drive, you will be okay for a little bit. I would still recommend getting a larger hard drive. The minimum size that I would tell anybody to get these days is 250, and that's as a minimum. And I'm telling you this, but to be real, I wouldn't get a 250 gigabyte hard drive. I have memory cards that are bigger than that, like literal SD cards that are bigger than that. I would say get at least a terabyte. But I do a lot more media and videos and like all these other things. But I will say that if you were to get a terabyte, let's say that if you wanted to like have a bunch of files or like download models, like large language models or weights for different pre-trained models from other machine learning algorithms, those can be large. The model that I just downloaded, the Llama model, Llama 2, is 200 gigabytes, and that's for not even all of the models, right? So just weights are 200 gigabytes. So if, let's say you wanted to like get into AI or ML, Well, that's something that you're gonna have to think about. The other thing that I would say is, I don't know, maybe you just want to get another computer. If that's what you want to do, get another computer. Now, I'm gonna always tell you to try to, like, if you don't want to spend money, you can upgrade. Hopefully, I think you can still upgrade computers. I don't even know I don't know what computers allow you to do these days. I have a Mac, which means that I can't upgrade shit. So that's why my recommendation is generally to buy as much as you can at the startup, because you are going to be stuck with that until you buy a whole new machine. So like, let's say in my case, M1, I don't know. I had to go see. I don't actually know what these things cost. My bad. Give me a second. We go to Apple. So, and I'm not telling you to get a Mac, but this is, I do Mac because it's easy. This is what I know. Also, I don't like having a bunch of choices. I have better shit to do and like figure out a bunch of stuff. So we come here and let's say, for instance, I could have bought the one for $2,000, which comes with 32 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabytes of SSD storage. Now, what if I told you that I currently have 15 terabytes of data? I could never put that on this machine. Like, I could even put like one of my projects, like let's say for instance I go to Japan and I film footage for a week. That footage is going to be 4 terabytes. I wouldn't even be able to put that on my machine. So if I do that and it's like, oh well, what do I do? Either I have to go and invest in a bunch of external hard drives, but let's say that sure I do that and I run out of memory, because that's something that I've actually hit swap on my machine. In fact, right now I am currently using 25 gigabytes of RAM currently as we're streaming. This only has 32. I wouldn't be able to upgrade this. So in my mind, yes, it's paying $4,000. That's a lot of money, but it's a lot cheaper than me having to go and spend $2,000 and then like 6 months later I had to go spend another $2,000. Well, actually I had to spend more because I would have to upgrade it. So in my mind, it's like I've spent $2,000 plus whatever the new machine is to upgrade. So let's say if I decide to upgrade my RAM, all right, well that's goddamn almost $5,000 after taxes that I've spent, when I could have just spent $4,000 and it lasts me a little bit longer. That's kind of what I'm getting. At least that's how I'm thinking about it. And in fact, that's actually what I did. So I bought this machine 18 months ago, or however long ago, I don't remember. Maybe it was 2 years ago, I don't remember. But I bought it a long time ago and I don't have to upgrade it for a while. And it was just that same thinking of, all right, I can buy the cheap one, or I shouldn't say cheap, the less expensive one, or I can just get that Vaseline out and just put it up there and just just buy the big one. I'm being real. Like I don't like spending this kind of money on these machines. In my mind, like this is overpriced. Because I remember what Macs used to cost. They didn't used to cost this much. But it's like, if you are going to do this field, you got to keep in mind that this is a tool, and the tools that you have are going to either enable you or prevent you from doing the work that you want to do. So if you're going to spend money, you spend money on the things that make you money. So in my case, I make money, I make my living, I do so many things from this machine. So in my mind, it's like, yeah, I can spend $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 on a machine. It doesn't matter because I make money from it, right? It's a little bit different. Right. So yeah, if this is something that you want to do, I would recommend, either, you keep what you have now and just put Linux on it. That's the cheapest option. But it's also the most expensive option from you're going to have to learn a shit ton of stuff. But that could also be a good thing in the future, where it's like, yeah, it's going to be painful at first, but you'll learn some very valuable skills. And guess what? The internet runs on Linux. No way out of it. Like literally every application you're using is running on a Linux server, including right now as we talk. If you're watching Twitch, if you're watching YouTube, that's running on Linux. It's not running on Windows. It's not running on Mac OS. So it's just like you'll be using the same OS that you're going to be using when you deploy your stuff to the cloud or to other infrastructure. Now, if you're like, all right, I don't got any time for that, which that's my mindset. Or if you're like, I would like to do Linux, but I don't want to be tied to that. I also want to be able to do Windows and other shit. you could buy a MacBook Air, and they're expensive. I think maybe. Let's see. I actually don't know what MacBook Airs cost because I would never buy one. Yeah, if you get the 15 inch, it's $12.99, but you don't need a 15 inch. Maybe you just get the, I don't know, this one. You get it for $1,000. You know, and of course you won't be able to upgrade it, right? So if you buy this, it's not really going to cost $1,000 for you, because remember, you're running into storage issues. So maybe you want a little bit more than this 512 because you'll never be able to upgrade it. Like right now with your computer, you have the possibility of being able to upgrade it. With a Mac, no chance in hell. So you're stuck with whatever you buy. And that's where you just go get that Vaseline and you're just like, okay, I gotta, you know, and you just plan to keep it for 3-4 years. And you know, like you may be like, oh, that's a lot of money. Okay, let's see. Let's say you spend $1,400. Here in Texas, where I am, you're going to pay 8.25% sales tax. So that's $1,515, right? So we'll just round that up to $1,516. And let's divide that by 3 years. You're paying $500 a year for this machine. Maybe you like to do monthly, right? So we'll do 36. You're paying $42 a month for this machine. Well, on average, there are 28 days in a month on average. So you can actually multiply this by 28, and that'll give you how much it's costing you a day. Now, the question that you got to ask yourself is, can I generate more economic value or just more dollars in my account than this thing cost me in a day? All right, so like, let's say, for instance, we want to figure out what the daily cost of this is. So we're just going to, assume 28 days, even though technically it's going to be more, but actually we'll make it 30. We'll be realistic. So this $1,500 machine over the course of 3 years is going to cost you $1.40 per day, not including electricity, but these are pretty power efficient. So let's just add an extra 10 cents per day in electric cost. Do you think that you would be able to generate more than $1.50 a day with this machine?
Well, I struggle with to get income in general, but so I would say no.
That's now. That's now. Like, how old are you?
I'm 25.
All right. Do you think that your 25-year-old self is going to be the same as your 35-year-old self? Do you make more than $1.50 a day? I assume you do. The minimum wage is $7.25 in our country. So that tells me that at minimum, you're making 5 times this in 1 hour. All right. Do you understand where my math is coming from?
Yes, I understand where your math is coming from. Yeah, it makes sense.
And it may be, honestly, I can understand this might be a very different way. What the fuck was that? Oh, that's you. All right. This may be a very different way of thinking from what you're used to thinking. Like, a lot of people, they'll just look at a price of something and they'll be like, oh, it's a lot. Sure, you could do that. Or you can go what, other people do. And I'm gonna be real. Most people don't think this way. Like, this is more of a people who have a little bit of money. They're in like how they look at money, where it's just like, okay, this is a tool. It's going to cost me $1.50 a day. Can I earn at least $1.50 a day? If the answer is yes, then okay, well then you get this at cost. Like basically, you strike out at zero, right? You don't lose or gain anything. But let's be honest. Like, let's say that this machine it gets you to the point to where not only you're able to complete your computer science degree without having to worry about issues like what you're doing, but it also allows you to explore different types of development. It allows you to learn a new operating system. It allows you to play with different operating systems. What does that work?
Yeah, that sounds good. I ain't gonna lie. And I love learning, so that's the reason why I started school in general. So I'm down to learn different things,
Well, so then we go back to, it's like, is $1.50 a day? Is that too much to pay for that?
No, it's not. It's not.
Now, I want to add that, like, let's say, for instance, you word about this, and I know everybody's in different financial positions. Maybe you can't afford this in cash. Maybe you have to finance it or whatever. Well, if you're unable to pay this off in 12 months, that's when I would say don't do it. And the reason why is because interest rates are stupidly high right now. I think the Fed rate right now is like 6.25. I don't know. Don't quote me on this. I could look it up, but I'm not. It's between 6 and 7% ish, which means that your credit card rates are probably going to be in like the 25 to 35% range APR. So APR is annual, like annual percent yield or something like that. So whatever you pay, let's say you get $1,000 of whatever, you're gonna pay 30% interest on that in your first year, which is $300. Right. So while you're making your payment, it's also calculating your principal, and then because you basically here, let me show you how this works. We'll open up Excel, my favorite little tool. Oh, what? Okay. Is this about to start telling me to do shit? All right. We'll just open up Excel on a Mac. I'll tolerate freaking Excel on Mac if it opens faster. Whichever one opens faster. This wants me to sign in again. Fuck this. Now it's just still on my freaking computer. All right, fine. We'll use Mac OS Excel, even though it's trash in every way. All right, we'll do this. Make this a little bit bigger. Oh, it's finished. I'm looking at your screen right now. 23 gigabytes of. Oh, actually, no. You're doing okay. I don't think you can do much else at this point. Sure, you might be able to remove a few things. I'm looking at your screen, by the way. But you're only using 23 gigabytes. I think that's the best you could do at the moment. So you have your 8 gigabytes free. You're gonna run up against this issue again. Just FYI. Like, or maybe if you want to learn how to do game development, well, you're SOL. You can install Unity. Unity is more than this.
I do plan on doing game development like later on in my career,
so then yeah, like your machine is not going to solve your needs.
Yeah, it's not gonna cut it, right?
Yeah. I hate to say that because it's, in my opinion, it's a waste. Like with these types of computers, you're not going to be able to sell it and get back most of your money. So I'm gonna be real. Like, yeah, I spend a lot of money on these Macs, but I'm gonna also be real. I sell them when I don't need them, and I get a lot back for it. So like, no, this, we don't see it, but I have a MacBook Pro M1 Max over there. It's like $5,000. I can sell it today for $3,500. So it's just like, that's a new computer. I mean, for some folks, like that's a whole new computer or whatever. I can just sell it now. With this, like typically, like these Windows machines or whatever, they don't go for much when you on the resale market. And that's one thing that I look at, right? Like that's part of the cost. So it's not just, how much I pay for it. It's how much did it cost me to own it. So let's say, for instance, this $6,000 M1 Ultra that I have on my computer, on my desk right now. Sure, you may be like, oh, he paid $6,000 for it, but that's not how I'm thinking. I'm thinking, how much does this cost me per day? And then how many days did I own it? And how much did I sell it for? And then I subtract those things, and then it tells me my cost of ownership. My cost of ownership is not going to be $6,000. And then like there are other things that I'm thinking about. Like I write off things because I have a business. So it's just like I wrote this $6,000 off against my income, so I don't have to pay taxes on that additional $6,000. So it helps me in that way.
You know a lot about money, and I'm down to learn that. So like I love these type of interview, like you interviewing me right now. So I love that type of feeling. I feel like I learn a lot and I benefit a lot from it. So like you don't benefit from it, but
well, I don't have to benefit from it. I mean, that to me that's selfish. I don't need to benefit from anything. I'm all right. If I can help someone else, that's cool. All right, so let's go through this. So let's say you get a loan. Basically, you go and take something out on credit, right? And let's say that your APR is, because we're using Excel, I don't have to use round numbers. I don't have to do any math in my head. Let's say your APR is 23%, which is low as fuck in today's current rates. Let's be more realistic. Let's go to the internet and see what average credit card rates are, or we can see. Nah, we'll just look at what average credit card rates are. Average credit card rates. Oh, look, I was right. It's about 24%. So we'll use 24%. So I was very close. I'm actually surprised. Okay, so let's say your APR is this, right? Let's do this. So we'll say in year 1, and then actually this will be year 0. I like to start at 0. Then we'll do year 1 and then year 2. All right, so year 1, you're going to get a credit of $1,000. All right, so you'll do $1,000, and that'll just be equal to whatever this is right here. Right, and then year 2, and I'm not gonna account for your payment. Obviously, you'll be making payments, but I think that's between you and your credit card. I don't know what the length of payments are going to be. But let's say if you make minimum payments, effectively, you're never going to really touch your principal effectively. So in year 1, you're going to pay this 1,000 times this right here, and then I guess we should do yeah, we'll do it this way. And I should also say that plus that. Oops. Shit. What the fuck? What just happened? What the Why did it do that? Give me a second. I don't know what the fuck just happened. Okay, my gosh. I did say that Mac, like this version of Excel is trash. I did warn you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Just go away. We'll just start over. How about that? We'll just start over. All right, so we're gonna select all this. I don't know why in the hell I put that on J. We'll put this over here, right there. Cool. Okay, all right, let's try this again. So this is gonna be equal to this plus this times this raised to the 1. And now that I realize that I'm gonna have to do this again, I probably shouldn't call this year 1, but I'm gonna call it 1 for now. And then I'm gonna just say that this is gonna be 1, and then we'll put year above here. So we'll say year. All right, and then we'll do year. Yo, what's up? Just as I can't read that. What? Just ask a PN. I am going through. I'm going through how to think about purchasing tools that are expensive. So Quentin has a laptop that he bought for school for his CS degree, and I was saying how yes, computers are expensive, but you shouldn't look at it as just like, oh, this is just going to be this cost. You should look at it as how much is this going to cost me per month or per day versus how much economic value is it going to net me in. So let's say, for instance, it costs you $1.50 a day to own your computer, and that translates to about a $1,500 computer that you own for 3 years. It's going to cost you about $1.50 a day with the electricity and all of that. And I was saying you shouldn't look at the computer costing $1,500. You should look at how much is it going to net you, and are you able to generate more economic output than that $1.50 a day? And to which I mean, that's not really a question. It's a yes, at least in America, because our minimum wage here in America is $7.25 an hour, which means that you're earning, what's 7 times 8? You're earning about $60 a day, which means that even if you earn minimum wage, you make enough to, and even after taxes, right? You still make enough. Now, I'm not saying that you should go out and buy a $1,500 computer if you make minimum wage, but what I am saying is that if your goal is to get into an industry where that computer is like required for you to make your money, then you should look at it, in the way that I'm talking about. So I'm kind of just showing them like the cost of interest, because I was saying if you're going to purchase it on credit and you can't pay it off in a year, then at that point I would probably not do it because interest rates are stupidly high. So it's also like I need to change the way I'm doing this because I don't want to have to do extra work. So what I'm going to do is change this formula to be here, and then we're also going to change this formula to be the same thing effectively. So we'll do that. And technically this is going to be wrong, but whatever. Oh fuck, why did I do that? What the fuck did I just do? Did I do it in the wrong place? Yes, I did. All right, we're just going to leave that alone. I don't want to deal with that again. So we're going to move this over. All right, and then we're going to make sure that this formula is correct. It is not. That's because I got the first one wrong. And then D4, it goes to here, F4, D5. Nope. That's that. And on Windows, I could do like Shift F4 or something like that. It'll automatically do the stuff. On Mac OS, none of that works. What the fuck did I just do? Give me a second. So we have here times G3. Oh, raise to the G3. F4. Oh, no wonder. Okay. There we are. Cool. So in year 2, that machine that you paid $1,000 for, assuming you're paying, and like obviously you're gonna pay you're gonna pay a payment, but chances are, unless your payment is more than, let's say in this first year, let's say 240, let's say it equals 240 divided by 12. Unless your minimum payment is more than $20 an hour, or not $20 an hour, $20 a month, you're only paying interest. So let's say you're like most Americans and they pay the minimum payment, which could be like $30 or something like this on something like this. Well, effectively, you've only paid $120 towards the principal. You know, this $1,000 balance right here.
Okay.
All right. Now, let's say, you know, you're going to pay this $240 in interest no matter what. So when you pay that 120 towards your principal, you may be like, oh, well, I paid $360. How come my balance only went down by 100? Well, that's why. So that's what I'm getting at, where it's like, unless you can pay it off where you don't have to pay any interest, I wouldn't recommend it. Right. And then the second year, you see that it just balloons up, and this is assuming you're making minimum payments. So it's very easy to get into a situation where as you continue to make payments, this balance can continue to increase, or it may decrease a lot slower than you think. And they're like these credit card things that let's see. Let's see if ChatGPT can tell us. ChatGPT. All right, suppose I purchase a widget for $1,000. Is that not how you spell purchase? No, it's not. It's a widget for $1,000 on credit with an APR of 24%. Let's say I what is it? I pay the minimum amount of $30 per month towards the balance. How many years will it take me to pay off the principal? Principal. You see that?
Let's see what it's going to say.
11 and a half years.
11 and a half years?
Yes. So like it without interest, you know, like that $30 a month, is that $360 a year? So without interest, you'd be able to pay that off in like less than 3 years. But with interest, it balloons it by a lot, which is why I would say, like, if you had to purchase it on credit, I don't know. However, I purchased things on credit when I was younger, but I had the same kind of mindset where it's like, okay, sure, I make this much now, but am I going to continue to make this in the future? Right. And then there, you know, you can prioritize certain things, right? So let's say, for instance, you know, as you make a little bit more money, instead of inflating your lifestyle and buying a bunch of other shit and, you know, using more and more credit, you just pay it off. Right. So yeah, I would say if you're able to buy a $1,500 computer and pay that off in a year, that's probably the move to do. Let's see what that would be divided by 12. That's $125 a month. So then the question,
that's not bad.
Well, it's not, but I'm gonna be real. Like, we all have the ability to do this, but most people go into debt and they only go further and further into debt. So while you're right, it's only $125. It requires you to manage your money effectively and to not fall prey into this marketing bullshit of always buying the newest stuff. Always buying crap, just, you know, like, I don't know, like where I'm from, people like to buy shoes. I don't understand. To me, it's the dumbest thing ever. It's retarded. They'll go pay $200 on some fucking shoes, which, like, I don't know, like, shoes don't really do anything. right? So it's just like, if you're, I don't know if you're that kind of person, but like, let's say for instance, you're like, oh, like I like to go and buy a new pair of shoes every month or something. Well, you will be competing, right? So you'll be like, well, I can't buy these shoes, so I have to pay this computer, which in my mind, this isn't bad. I would do it. In fact, all of the machines here that I have, because I have the Apple Card, so I get interest-free financing in 12 months. So I just pay it as an installment instead of doing like oh yeah, it's just I need to figure out what I gotta pay. It's just an installment. So yeah, I didn't pay any interest for any of this shit.
That's crazy. That's
Well, to be fair, you don't have to pay interest on anything, right? If you purchase something on a credit card and you pay it off at the end of the month, you've paid no interest. Now, that's not most people though. Most people carry a balance, which means they pay interest, which is why they tend to go further and further into debt.
So let me get this straight. So if you pay it off before it's just rate happens, right? You won't have to pay interest.
Yeah. You only pay interest on the balance that you carry. If you carry no balance in a month, then you don't pay interest on anything. Because let's say 24% of zero is zero. So that's your interest payment for that month. It's nothing, because technically they haven't given you any, like they haven't loaned you money. They accrue interest on a monthly basis.
Okay.
And your interest rate, even this 24% APR, this is annual. If you want to get your MPR, your monthly, you just divide by 12. So that's 2%. All right, you just divide that by 12. What the hell? Let me close Windows because it's starting to annoy me. How do I close this shit? Yeah. So that's how that works. It's they're going to I forget what you call it. There's a word for it. I don't remember what it's called. But effectively, they're going to divide that annual into monthly, and that's how your interest is applied each month. And then at the end of the year, it adds up to 24% if you've carried a balance that entire year. All right. So that's why I say if you bought a computer for $1,000 and you don't really pay you have to make a payment. But let's just for sake of mental simplicity for me, you make no payments in that first year. You're going to accrue $240 of interest, and that's going to be added to your balance. So that's at year zero. So at the end of year zero, you go into year one with a balance of $1,240. If you don't pay anything that year, you're going to get charged 24% interest on your balance, which includes that $240 of interest you had last time. All right. So then it goes up even higher. And like, if it just continues, so it's compounded interest. And that's the thing where it's like compounded interest can fuck you for life, but it can also be the thing that makes you rich as fuck. Cause it's just like, it's compounded interest. So you've earned interest on your interest. And at a certain point, it starts to really accelerate.
That's why you got to make sure you pay it off as soon as possible.
Well, yeah. I mean, but that's on the buying front. There's also on the earning front too, which is like if you can put your money into investments, the interest is going to compound over time. Like let's say you bought $100,000 house. And like it appreciates by 50 grand, so $50,000. That's what 50% over the course of you owning it over 3 years. So you take that $150,000 and you go buy another house or something. I don't know. You buy something that can appreciate. Well, now the appreciation that you see is on not only that $100,000 of original principal that you put down, but also on that $50,000 of interest that you earned. So then, at the end of that period, you earned even more money, and then you keep going, and then that's not even including things like leveraging and all that kind of stuff. Leveraging is when you go take out a loan. So, let's say you have $200,000 that allows you to go and buy $1 million house. You don't have $1 million, but you are able to go buy $1 million house because you've leveraged your $200,000 to do that. All right. So let's say you were to leverage $200,000 to go buy $1 million worth of real estate. So that's 5 houses for $200,000 a piece. Well, let's say each of those grows by $50,000. Well, that's $250,000 just there that you've earned plus all the other things. So it compounds. That's the point. It compounds. Here, let me see if ChatGPT describe compound interest.
I got one question though.
Yeah.
Like stuff like this. Can we do this more, or is this a one-time thing?
I mean, maybe. I don't. It depends. Like, I'm gonna say as of now, my views are down, so I don't know. Like, that's the thing that I found out, that it seems that I wanted to. When I started doing this, I was like, oh, it would be dope to show people how to do stuff. And you know, I like showing people how to do stuff, but I've now come to learn is that most people don't want to learn how to do anything. Like, they say they do, but they don't. They want to be entertained. And I don't know how you found me, but I was on the lead attorneys. Like, I joined his thing for a little bit, basically asking him, like, how did he reconcile this? Because I knew when he started, he wanted to like educate people. And he actually advised me to basically stop doing what I'm doing. He's like, nah, like, he's like, what you're doing is boring. And to be real, like, I can't argue with it, because when I look at my analytics, it's not doing well, right? Like, you know, for the amount of value that I think I'm adding, I have not much to show for it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's like, yes, but I mean, there's also this saying, this is why we can't have nice things, where it's like, you know, if people aren't supporting it, then it's just like, because I mean, it takes time and effort, and at the end of the day, you know, are you willing to do work or do anything and you get nothing for it? And when I say nothing, I mean, like, you know, let's say your goal is to grow your YouTube channel. I've been streaming on YouTube now for almost a year. Here, I'll show you something. Here, I'll show you some things.
Right.
How do I do this? I'm in, okay. Let's come here. So these are my analytics. I'm gonna show you for the year. 3,500 views for a year. This is with me doing the stuff that, you know, every now and again, people like yourself will be like, oh, this is cool. I really love this. I enjoy this. But like, here's what I have to show for it over a year. I don't know. Maybe this is impressive. I don't know. It's not impressive to me. Especially when I know that, you know, there are people who will put out something and they'll get 50,000 views in an hour, right? And they'll make yeah. It's just like, I don't even have 5,000 views in a year. So it's like, I hope you understand what I'm getting at, where it's just like, yeah, sure, I would like to do it, but it's just like, I don't think there's much appetite for it. Like, when, like, this learning stuff, my average view duration for a stream that was probably at least an hour or two long is 3 minutes. What does that mean? Well, that means that my retention is low, which means that YouTube won't recommend my content, which means that I won't grow, which is probably why you see a bunch of degenerate shit on YouTube. Is because that's the thing that people watch. It's not the things that actually matter. And honestly, I think that's why our country is becoming stupider and stupider. It's because we just have people who don't really want to do anything. They just want to be entertained, which is a hallmark of a country in decline. So it's just like, you know, like, how do you reconcile that, right? Like, even, I mean, this continues, right? No, here's 3 minutes. This is a multi-hour stream. This one right here is 13 minutes. And this is a stream with Chris Sean, as well as, can you see your metric since TLA? Yeah, it hasn't been that great, to be honest. But I can show it to you in a second. So this stream right here was Chris Sean, as well as Pratik. Pratik is a research engineer at Meta doing AI. Like, he's someone who, like, at least where I come from, like, in the type of world I'm in, like to be able to just be in a fucking room with this person should be like a honor, right? Like, most people don't even know people who are building the future like this. And if you don't understand this yet, AI is going to rule your life in the future. And like, I'm actually talking to people and I'm building shit with, like, I actually do this stuff, and it's like that 13 minutes of a multi-hour stream, right? So So it's like I would like to, but at the same time, like I don't think other people would like to. This is even worse. Like 0.7% retention on a multi-hour stream. So these are the things that, like, you know, this is likely why your favorite YouTuber is doing the type of content that they're doing. Like maybe, you know, you started out with them and they were doing stuff that you really, really liked, and then they started producing content that's just like everyone else's. I understand why. Because, like, you know, if YouTube is dangling this, hey, if you do what sells, you can make $50,000, $100,000 a month. Or you can do what is important to you and you'll make jack shit and it'll just cost you money. Right? Like, let's be real. Like, in order to do these streams, it's not free. I do have to have equipment. I have like $25,000 worth of equipment. Fortunately, I didn't buy this for streaming. I do this for other things, right? But it's just like, there's actual capital cost that I had to invest to do this. So it's just like, if I am going to continue, you know, burning time streaming and not doing something else that actually earns me money, then it needs to be something that can earn me money. I have a question. Let me answer this question right quick. Can you see your metrics since TLA? Yeah. Give me a second. So we'll go into here and then we'll go content. Actually, honestly, this is my metrics since TLA. So I have 1.k views, 160 hours, and I've grown 55 subscribers. Now, I don't know if this will show me how many hours I've done, so I may need to go to Twitch TV. Yeah, let's go to Twitch TV right quick, and we'll go to analytics here. All right, so in the past 30 days, I've streamed 53 hours in the past 30 days. Right, I don't stream every day. I stream about 3 times a week on average. So there are 4 weeks in a month. So that's 12 streams. All right, so let's say this 53, let's round it up to 54 divided by 12. So each one of these streams is average 4.5 hours of work, right, that I'm doing. Like real work, you know, you see some of the stuff I'm doing. And it's just like, this is what I have to show for it. I've increased 8 followers. And like, I have 13 unique chatters. So what does this mean? This means that on average, for most of this 53 hours of me streaming, it's me talking to myself, which I don't know if you've ever talked to yourself for long. I'm going to take it you haven't, but you should try it. You should try streaming for 4 hours and having no one give a fuck about what you're saying. It's really hard. So it's just like, sure, I would like to do things, but at the same time, it's like, if I am going to do something like this, where I'm forced to sit in my chair and not be outside enjoying my life, because I have a pretty decent life, I'm not going to lie. Like, I could be out with my buddies in supercars. I could be doing that. I could be out on my super bike, you know, riding around the city. You know, I could be out walking my dog. I could be doing a lot of things, but I'm doing this. So it's a little challenging to, you know, to maintain it and say, yeah, and like, you know, do content that, you know, educates people. And then it's like, well, what do I have to show for it? I know this is a very cynical thing. You probably weren't thinking of it this way, but it's just to give you a little bit of insight into like people who are streaming. It's a lot of effort, and there are a lot of things that you're not seeing right now, like just managing all this and trying to be entertaining while also getting shit done, while also being educational. Even though I see that, you know, this is in the last 30 days. I can show you, I think, oh wait, no, I can't show you this year. I thought I would be able to show you this year. Hold on. I only asked because I've watched the whole streams while learning. Yeah, I mean, like, so here's the one thing I have noticed. I have noticed that the people who end up following and like who are here consistently, they do enjoy it. Now here's the problem. Most people don't have the attention span to sit for, you know, minutes or hours to be like, oh, this dude actually he's knowledgeable. I can learn a lot. Most people aren't thinking that. Most people are out living their lives, just being like, oh yeah, I just want to know. I'm sure you've noticed, like, people who I don't really use these social media things, but like TikTok, like just fucking flipping around all day, or on Instagram, all they're doing is scrolling, or on whatever apps they're used where they're just swiping left and right. That's what people do these days. It's not a lot of room for people like me who, like, I mean, if you stick around long enough, you could probably get a college level education in a lot of different things. I mean that. I mean that for real. Like, I'm very educated. I'm more educated than you may think, where it's just like you could learn a shit ton, but it's not the fast money that people want. And that was the thing that TLA was saying. He's like, people want to learn how to do things fast. I'm like, well, it took me 8 years to become a millionaire. Sure, there are other people who maybe they had it faster, but like most people didn't become millionaires overnight. Right? That's just being real. And I know a lot more millionaires than most people. In fact, I know billionaires. They didn't become that in a few hours or a few days or a few months.
Yeah, it takes long term.
It takes a long time. Like there's some people who like, I mean, let's just say his net worth is in the 9-10 figure range, right? That didn't happen until he got into his late 60s. Now, if I'm telling you, a young man at 25, yeah, bro, like, yeah, I can help you become a multimillionaire, but you're not going to be a multimillionaire in your 20s or your 30s. Maybe you'll get there in your mid 40s, late 40s. Chances are you'll be like, oh, well, you know, you'll lose interest. And I've come across a lot of people like that. They'll be really interested and then they realize that it's a lot harder than they thought it was, which to me, it's just telling me that you actually don't want it. Like, that's how I look at it. It's just like, if you really want something, you'll work for it. In my case, I really wanted to not be where I was when I was younger. Okay, I'll work towards it. So, you know, even when I was in school, I didn't go out to parties, whatever. I'm working towards a net worth of $50 million. I'm just being real. While other people, they're just like, oh, like, I just want 6 figures. So I'm like, man, I crossed 6 figures at 22. Like, fuck that. I'm like, after 7, I'm like, let's go to 8 or 9. Like, I'm not even on the same level as most people anymore. It's just like, I'm on a whole mission, right? And my timeline is by 50, my net worth should be over $50 million. And I'm on track. Maybe it'll be better. Maybe it'll be less. I don't know. I'm okay, right? It's just that when I talk to a lot of people, you know, it's a long-term thing, and most people don't have at least they don't think they have the time, which is interesting. And
I listened to one podcast, right? It said billionaires think long-term. Is that true?
Yeah. At least, I mean, I'm not a billionaire, but I am the one beneath that. And yeah, I think long term, my time horizon is a decade at the least. So yeah, with this stream, I've been doing this for, at least on the Twitch side, I've been doing this for almost 15, 16 months. And you see what I have to show for it. Most people would quit. Just being real. Most people are like, man, like it's not growing and whatever after, you know, a few months. I'm a little bit more than a few months in, and here you are, you're watching me, right? So it's just like, the only reason why I haven't quit yet is because I gave myself a 10-year timeline where it's like, okay, I'm just going to put out a body of work. If no one watches it, that's not really the point. The point is that in 10 years, if I'm looking at different opportunities or people are like deciding if they want to work with me or if they want to like bring me in on their ventures, they like, I could be like, well, I have a whole body of work over here. I have something that differentiates me from most people on earth. Like you just saw, like just in the past 30 days, not this one, but like in this past 30 days, it's like almost 60 hours of actual work, right? You know, some people, they have a job, but you don't know what the fuck they've done. One of my proudest accomplishments is that I can point to most of the work that I've done. And when I say point, I mean like I can tell you to go to this website or go use this thing, and it's like you're using my work. I'm gonna do a quick flex on you right quick, because I'm sure you didn't know this. We'll come here.
That's what I like. That's what I want to get to, where I can show people, okay, this is what I created, you know? And not just to flex, but just to like be the founder of something, you know?
Well, it's hard. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I mean, people, and that's the one thing I've learned. Everyone wants to do something until they realize that it's hard, and that, like, you know, just like with me, like no one really supports me. I'm being real. Like, I mean, sure, there's you, but it's like for the amount of stuff I've done, no one gives a fuck about me. It's just like, are you cool with no one giving a fuck about you for 10, 15, 20 years? And no one supporting you for 10, 15, 20 years. And things being hard, like just obstacle after obstacle of all this for 10, 15, 20 years. Most people are not. But at the end of the day, it's just like those people who do persevere and get to the end, you know, everyone else, they just sees it as an overnight. They're just like, oh, you're so lucky, I don't have this or that. Like, I imagine when you're talking to me and I'm like, oh, you can do this, you may be thinking that I just grew up with money. I didn't, right? Like there was a point in my life where I was struggling to, like, there was a point where I had a roommate in college. The bed that I slept on came from a dumpster. Like, it was a futon mattress. He was out. He's like, bro, I saw, like, there's a futon mattress out there. He's like, you want to go get it so you have a bed to sleep on. So, like, I get it. Like, I come from a different place, but it's just like, it's just like, it's all this stuff where, you may be like, oh, you have all these things. It's like, yeah, but it's taken me a long time. I'm 34 now. Right. So I've had a lot of time to accumulate things, not just things, but experiences and knowledge and skill sets, develop skill sets or whatever. But yeah, here's the product that I had a hand in building. So you come here, you go to insights, you go to contributors, you'll see me here. I haven't contributed to, like, I no longer work here. So I haven't done anything on this in 3 or 4, maybe 5. I don't know. It's been years. And even with the amount of years that it's been, this person, they're actively doing shit and they just crossed me. This person, they actually worked here. They were my coworker for a couple of years and they never crossed me. All right. So it's like, if you ever use GitHub Desktop, you're using my stuff. If you ever use certain things at GitHub, you might be using some of my stuff. There are other contributions that I've done to certain projects like Visual Studio Code, as well as TypeScript and other things, which, these are all things that, like, I get to point to and say, all right, when someone's like, oh, I did this, but they can't point to it, it's like, well, I did this, you can go use it right now. Right? Like, to me, that's important. And it's the same with YouTube, right? Like, these streams, yeah, I could be like, yeah, maybe no one watches it, but I can damn sure be like, you know what? I know how to do that, and here's proof. Not just, oh, I know how to do that, here's my resume, and oh, you have to, like, it's like, nah, you can go and watch hundreds of hours of me doing the shit that I claim to know how to do at a very high level. And without any supervision, without anyone telling me to do it, like, most of the issues that I come across, I fix myself. Sometimes I contribute fixes to the things that I'm using in my own project. Like, that's something that most people don't do. Like, let's say, for instance, you discovered that something doesn't work in .NET. Some people will be like, oh, well, it doesn't work. There's a bug. That's it. Some people, like me, it's like, oh, there's a bug. Let me go figure out what that bug is. Let me fix that bug. Let me submit a contribution to that project so that I don't have to deal with this shit. Oh, by the way, that contribution that I contributed, I get a URL for that. I can then send you that URL and be like, well, here's the shit that I did that helped you, right? That's important to me. So that's kind of where I'm at with this, where it's like, yeah, I'm not getting the views yet, but the goal is, in a decade, if I keep this up, and that's the hope, I can keep it up for the long term. And if I'm doing, let's say I get, actually, let's see how many hours I've streamed for the year on Twitch. I think Twitch will tell me that, actually. Let's see, stream summary. All right, so I think for the year would be from here to today. Let's see if it can crunch that. So just this year, I've streamed 203 hours. It's safe to say by the end of this year, I'll probably be between 350 hours of streaming for the year. Now, let's just say that I'm able to keep up this same pace and I don't do more streaming in the future. And let's just say I do it for 5 years. At 5 years, I have 1,750 hours of me doing actual shit on stream live. That's something that most people can't point to. So let's say, for instance, I'm going out, I don't know why I would go looking for a job, but let's say I'm out looking for a job and let's say it pays 300, 400, 500K. And the decision is between me and 5 other people. Well, because I used to hire people, I know that chances are, if I can say, well, this person, he has goddamn 1,750 hours of actual shit that we can go and see, plus hundreds of contributions to projects, like meaningful contributions to projects that most developers on earth use. Who do you think they're going to go with? The person who, they just worked at a bunch of companies, but you can't really see any of the work they've done, or the person who's also worked at a bunch of companies, but you can also see all the work they've done? And oh, and by the way, they also have other accomplishments that other people in life don't have. Like, I've been around the world, like for real. I'm not saying like, oh yes, like some people where they go to a couple countries, they're like, oh, I've been around the world. I've literally been around the world 10 times. And I'm not joking. 10 times. I've spent at least 2 weeks of my life in the air on airplanes. Actually, hold on. I have to go look. Maybe I might be wrong. Let me check. I have this app that shows me just the stuff that I've done since I've been using this app. And I haven't been using this app for that long. All right, I'm gonna give you some numbers.
All right.
Total miles since using this app. I've been using this app for about 4 years. 228,000 miles, 228,832 miles. That's 9.2 times around the world. Okay. Flight time, 20 days, 20 hours. I would say that's more than 2 weeks of my life, because 2 weeks is 14 days. That's almost 3 weeks of my life. And that's not including these upcoming trips I got coming up. 105 flights in 3 years. 44 countries in 3 years. Like, these are things that, like, these are like experiences that shape people. Most people on Earth can't say that they've done that. Right? Like, it's stuff like that. Or, people have their dream cars. I probably own most people's dream cars. And I'm just like, I'm over that shit.
Yeah, the crazy thing about it is, like, remember you told me that you own a Tesla?
Yeah, I have a Tesla now. Yeah. It's good enough. It gets me, it does all of the same shit as all of my other cars that I've had. Like, real talk. Like, I get in it, and then suddenly I'm in a new place. Same shit as my last cars. Like, literally all of them. In the past 3 years, I've owned 8 cars. And not just regular cars. Like, I can name them, I think. Porsche Macan Turbo, AMG GTC, not the GTR, 911 GTS, 991.1, AMG G63, the new one, the one that everyone loves, AMG C63S Coupe. All these are new. They're all like the new, not old shit, like when they were new. Panamera GTS, Porsche GT3, what else? A Porsche Cayenne for a little bit. I had an Audi RS Q8, Ram TRX. I think that, I don't know. There might be some other, I don't know. I don't even remember. I had a Genesis at 1.2, I think. There's been a lot of things. It's so many now where it's like, I don't even give a fuck. Like, I'm being dead ass, or I'm just like, I don't care about shit anymore. Not like that. Although I am going to be honest, I did just reach out to my dealer buddy, and I was like, I think I want a new G-Wagon. Because I can't do the Tesla. I'm going back to my G-Wagon.
Yeah, you better have a G-Wagon, right?
Well, I don't have to have it. It's just like, it was decent. Like, it was decent. I like how high it sits. Plus, I don't like the Tesla. I'm gonna be real. I don't like the Tesla. I leased the Tesla. I'm gonna be real. I leased it, but I leased it because I knew that I wouldn't keep it. I'm like, I would never purchase a car that I don't own, and I don't think that anyone can ever own a Tesla. Tesla owns Tesla, because it talks to motherland, to the mothership, and they can determine what features you have, or if you can charge. And I'm sure in the future they'll decide if you're able to drive. If there's electricity shortages. They have cameras in the car. It's all kinds of shit where it's just like, I don't own that car, so I will never like purchase it in a typical way. I'll just lease it and then write that shit off. So effectively, like, this Tesla is free for me. Like, effectively. Wait, I got comments. I gotta start clipping your streams and sending it to my youngest. Man, that'll be dope. That's something that I know I should be doing it myself, but I have so many other things to do. And honestly, part of the fact that I'm not growing to the extent that I would like is probably because I'm not willing to put in the amount of work or effort, at least now. But maybe that'll change. Who knows? Maybe life will change, and it's like suddenly I'll get more free time, aka like I stop working, because I work now. I've returned back to the workforce. So it's like, maybe if I stop working, then sure, I will have a lot of free time. to dedicate to this and all the other things that I got going on.
You remember you said you own your own business, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy because like a lot of people want to own their own business, like including me. Like I have a lot of ambitious goals, you know, and I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but like, and I want to accomplish them, you know. As a 25-year-old man, you know. So,
well, I'm not saying this to scare you away from owning a business, but just owning a business doesn't mean that you make a lot. Most business owners don't make that much. Just being honest. Like most people, I think when they think of business ownership, they think of status. Just like, oh, if I own my own business, I'll like have all this extra basically money. And honestly, like while that is true to some extent, to a big extent actually, it comes with a level of responsibility that most people are not prepared for. Right? Where it's just like, it's more responsibility, which is why you earn more. It's because you take on more risk, aka responsibility. So let's say, for instance, and honestly, this is part of the reason why I rejoined the workforce, is because like I started growing a team. I got to a point to where I had eight folks. I realized that I don't like people management. I just don't like. I don't like it like that. And as the farther along you go, you start to realize that it's basically about people management, like effectively, right? Like the more people you get, the more folks you're going to have to necessarily manage, and because they're working together, these interpersonal interactions, you're going to have to manage that too. So it doesn't increase linearly, right? Like it increases. I want to say is exponentially, maybe. It's almost like a graph. Like if you know how graphs work, it's the same kind of thing where it's like the more connections you have, the more shit is going on. It's kind of like with Facebook, where it's like you reach a certain amount of users and then all of a sudden it takes off. It's the same thing with business and all that kind of shit. But I mean, that's optional, right? You don't have to have a lot of people, but you also have to deal with the fact that people have their own interest, right? So let's say, for instance, you hire someone. Well, at least in our country, this is at-will employment. They can leave at any time. So let's say that, you spend a year working with some folks to try to get them up just being proficient. And then they say, you know what, this other person, they're going to pay me an extra $5 an hour, which like to me is nothing, but it's like, they're going to go make their extra $5 an hour, and you lose that. You lose not only that person, but all of the effort and energy like that you put into growing them so that they can be proficient for your business. There's that part. And then there's also the liability part, which is, a whole other thing. Give me a second. Do you go on YouTube panels? I have not. I have not. I've reached out to a few YouTubers. The folks who responded, I've had them on, and I've been on their things, but in general, no, I haven't. Linking up on YouTube bros. Yeah, I know. My issue is that, and this is a holdover from like working with other folks, is that it's hard for me to continue to deal with people who don't respond, like people who ghost. I guess you'll understand the older you get, right? Where it's just like, not only do you have less patience for shit, but it's just like, at the end of the day, I am doing okay in life. Like real talk, like most of the folks I would, maybe panel up with on it, I might be doing better than them. Just real talk. So it's just like, what do I really have to gain? I almost look at it as like they have more to gain from me being on their thing than for me. Other than like, yeah, I can gain followers and all that kind of bullshit, but I grew up without followers and I was happy. So that tells me that I don't need followers in my life. But maybe I need to change the thinking. Who knows? There's that. Yeah, you have any other questions? Or
I'm good. Everything you did, you answered all my questions, plus more. So I've been I really took a like it's really a lot I learned from this. So that's all I gotta say.
I'm happy to have you here, and yeah, hopefully you keep engaging. Like honestly, engaging in the comments is helpful. And maybe just give me a little bit more insight. Maybe you understand why, where like it makes it easier. Oh yeah, go ahead. We'll talk later. It was nice. It's nice chatting with you. I'm gonna go to here.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Are you? No, not me. All right. So yeah, are there any other questions from folks? I see you're talking about linking up with people, casual economists. Who would you recommend though? Because like, I don't know. Like, I do understand that my content is probably not for most people, which is why I'm asking. Right now, there are some folks who like I would love to talk to, but I don't know if they would love to talk to me. I can show you a couple of them. So let's go to the Promogenist one. Like him, it would be kind of dope to chat with him. I love this guy. Also Theo. I've been keeping up with him for a while. I don't know his last name though. Maybe, yeah, here we are. Yeah, Theo. Yeah. So he's grown really, really quickly actually. And yeah, he's already he's already at like 160. His content's really good. He's doing videos though. And yeah, maybe I'll do videos. Like several people have told me that if I really want to grow, I got to do videos. Like there's no way around it. They've also said I should do shorts. You know, he has a few shorts, TikTok, all that other kind of stuff. I'll probably do some more stuff with Sean, more from a podcast kind of thing. I think I just like talking to people. I don't just be real. Like I don't really, yeah, sure, growing and all that kind of stuff on YouTube is fine, but like the real reason why I started this was so that I can meet like-minded people. Since I'm now in the workforce, it makes it harder to meet people who are more like me, because people who work like staff, I don't know, their mind is just different. They're weird. I don't know. We're in different places. I'll just say that. So what I've noticed is that people who go off and do things on their own, I have more in common with. And the best way to meet people like that is either to A, travel and you'll just come across them, or B, like, you know, be out in the world doing your business, which I'm no longer doing, or C, which is this new avenue I found, is go out into the virtual world and do my business there. So that's kind of what I've been doing. So here's Chris Brown. So this guy, hopefully we'll be doing a podcast soon. He does tech content. Who else is there? Well, yeah, as you can see just from here, like most of the folks I'd be interested in doing stuff with, they're tech focused. And you know, like it would be dope to sit down with some of the folks from Y Combinator at some point. And I'm gonna be real, like that's part of the reason why I joined my company. Maybe someone from my company sees it and they'll be like, oh, okay, we didn't know that. And maybe they could hook me up with someone from Y Combinator, because I'm at a Y Combinator startup, just FYI. I applied to Y Combinator a few times, didn't get in. The second time they're like, you know, you should search for a co-founder. And yeah, I ended up just like, yeah, I'll get in another way. So yeah, I would like to talk to, you know, some of the Y Combinator folks about stuff. There's also Pratik, who I've been chatting with. He's not a YouTuber yet, but he will be. Gosh, what is this thing? 20 hours later? Oh shit, man! I really wish he kept this other one. It's like 20 hours. So you know what? I can find it. Let me go to one of my streams. His other handle, Lost Function, I told him I loved it, and then he changed it. Hopefully you see this, Pratik. I love Lost Function. It's easy to remember. It resonated. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what that is. But now I have to go and search for you in my previous live streams. Oh shit, what the fuck? Wait, what? Okay, go to my channel. Wait, oh, YouTube Studio. Okay, I'm like, how do I even get to this? Okay. Live. Here, okay, all right. So 20 hours later, okay. See what I had to do, Pratik? I had to do all this effort just to find you. All right, 20 hours later. Wait, how come it didn't take me to your channel? Oh, here we are. Yeah, here we are. Let me subscribe. I didn't even realize I wasn't subscribed. And also, we'll get a like. It's for me, but I'm also I need to watch it as well. All right, cool. So I know I went on this whole tangent or whatever. I gotta now go back to figure out what the hell I had planned to do. I don't even remember anymore. But yeah, I'm gonna watch this later. And like, I will give a comment because like I do understand that like it be like starting out YouTube is really hard because you basically talking to the void. And fortunately, I have a little bit of prior history on YouTube. This isn't like you all don't see all of my views because I took down all of my previous videos. I'll just say that. And if you look here, actually, I'm not planning any of these videos, but if you go to videos, you see I have a lot. You just don't see them. And that's because I used to do music a long time ago and I no longer do music. Look at that. Look, I lost a subscriber just by doing this, right? So it's just like I do notice because like I finally got to 165. I was like, oh yeah, look at that, I'm at 165. So it looks like someone was not a fan of whatever I was just talking about. But fortunately they didn't. Yeah, only 2 likes. So, and that's the other thing, when I look at the content here, it's just like, for instance, like this, I'm getting dislikes for what, I don't know, but like here I get 2 likes. What that tells me is that out of the 8 people who looked at this or saw this, you know, only 25% of them enjoyed it, which is a strong indicator that maybe I shouldn't do that. Or let's say this one where I get 35 views and only 4 people like it. It's a strong indicator that maybe I shouldn't be doing this, right? And then here 46 and then 1 person disliked it, only 3 people liked it. All right, another strong indicator. What I probably should do is like show how I would reconcile this. So I would do like a views per like ratio. And if that ratio is too low, that tells me I probably shouldn't do that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, you know, supporting people who are just getting started, I think is really useful, especially for people who don't know what to expect. Fortunately, like, it's fortunate or unfortunate, I actually used to be a little bit bigger than I am now. I used to get paid from YouTube a decade ago, and I just stopped posting. So I lost a lot of subscribers. I lost my monetization, and these days I no longer do videos. I only do these live streams. So as a result, instead of just starting a new channel, I just decided to take down all of my old content, which hurt my channel even more. Like, I'm not gonna front, like that actually did hurt my channel because now I no longer get those things added. Those things aren't taken into account when my content's being recommended. And plus, this content is so radically different from what I was doing in the past, to where even if I did keep it up, that would still hurt my channel because it's music production type of stuff. And now I don't even, like, I barely even talk about music these days. So yeah, there's that. Hopefully we'll do another live stream soon. Me and Pratik. He mentioned that we should read a paper together. Like, he's a research person, so you know, maybe I can learn a lot because I've never been a research person. And no, I'm pretty sure he can instill a lot of discipline in me. Like the kind of discipline I don't have. I don't have that kind of discipline yet. All right, it's enough of all that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, YouTube. I mean, it's not just YouTube though. Life is tough in general, right? Like, anything worth doing is going to be hard, and it's even harder when like you're doing stuff and you're putting it out there for the world to judge. Because not only are you like, worried about how people are going to look at it, but if you are doing stuff so that people do look at it, and people aren't looking at it, well, yeah, it can make it kind of hard to like continue forward, I guess. Okay. All right, so I guess we can close this out right here. Oh, I remember what I was doing. I was saying I need to write a script that can take a file like this and then turn it into what it should be. And also I was saying that I have a new way of doing things where I have a folder that gets created. So I'm going to have to handle these differently. And yeah, and all that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, no worries, Aries. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, man, I even have footage that I had to come and edit. Oh, and this is the other thing that I was saying, where I was like, I have a lot of like videos, but they're in the cloud, and it's annoying as fuck. Because if I want to play it, well, not these, but like, I don't even know how to do it. So like, if we go to like places or wherever. So let's say here, like I want to get all of like whatever the videos are that are here. I don't know what they are, but I want these videos because I want to edit them. But being it like coming in here and like clicking and clicking and clicking and clacking, and like this is so much effort. And let's say I want to play this, I have to wait, and then and then it'll play. Yeah, so I had to wait for it to download. So this is me driving somewhere in Taiwan, I guess. I don't know, you can kind of see it. So it's just like I have like these clips of all these, you know, different places that I was at, and it's so hard to edit stuff when it's not on my computer. So I need to figure out some way of getting this content out of Apple land and onto my NAS. Now here's the thing, all these videos are like, they add up to a lot. That's why I was saying that I might need to buy new hard drives, because even though I may have like 25 terabytes, that is not enough, right? Like if just my footage is going to be, let's say 10 terabytes, well, when I start making these projects and, you know, every now and again, I'm going to have to render out stuff into ProRes, then that's going to, like, all that space just goes away. Like a single Final Cut project could be 500 gigabytes. And that's like on the low end, right? Like if I'm shooting ProRes footage, which, I mean, there's not a strong reason to do it. I really don't need to, but let's say for instance, I'm like out, let's say I'm in Japan, and I decide to bring my recorder with me. I would likely shoot in ProRes, because the only other option I'd have is H.265, which is hard as fuck to edit. It's slow and all that kind of stuff, and ProRes is fast. And if I'm shooting in ProRes, I may as well shoot in ProRes RAW. That way I don't have to get the camera settings right. Nothing is worse than, you know, you put all this effort into recording like you can call it content, but you record footage and then you get it home and you're like, oh man, it's overexposed, or oh man, it's underexposed, or oh man, it's not in focus. Like, oh my gosh, that is the worst thing ever, because it's not like you can easily go back, right? So like these videos, like these are all, well, yeah, this one loaded up quickly, I guess because it's already here. But like these clips, you know, I can put these all together to make, you know, short edits or whatever. It looks like I had a few from Singapore, but not many, not on here, because I haven't pulled them off all of the different SD cards I have yet. Yeah, and then like this doesn't even include the stuff that's in Google Drive, the stuff that's in Dropbox. So I still have this consolidation project that I need to do. And it's so much effort, and that's why I've been putting it off. Like I've been needing to do this for 1.5 years, and I'm just like, no. I don't really feel like doing it right now. Oh yeah, this is kind of dope. This is where I was staying. Show y'all my infinity pool. Maybe I can, if I can find it. Maybe not. Oh yeah, here's my oh no, that's not it. Yeah, here it is. Infinity pool. Oh, it's a whole it's a whole thingamajig. It's like a video. Look at that. So yeah, like this is the kind of lifestyle that I'm living. And then like, you know, my thought was like, oh, let me show people what they can do so that they can also do this kind of stuff. Cause it would be dope to like meet people who are like, oh yeah, like, no, they're doing stuff. I don't know, it's really exciting to me, at least. And Like the things that I'm showing, like the things that I'm showing you now is how I'm able to do all these other things, right? Like as a result of what you see me doing. And when I'm like, I would like to show people how to do this, and then, you know, I understand that it could be boring. And I'm just like, man, like people say they want to live like this. People are like, oh, it would be so dope to work remotely and all this other kind of shit. Well, here I am. I'm working remotely, but I'm not working remotely like a slum. like I'm out, you know, fucking living. And I mean, other people could accomplish this too, I guess. Maybe if they wanted to. Yeah. But anyway, I have a lot of footage that I need to figure out something to do with. Oh, look here, I got my Porsche GT3. This me on the track, I guess. No, this is me on the street, I guess. Oh, this was my buddy behind me. I don't know if y'all can see it. Probably not. It's not in full screen, but it's in the rear view. I thought that was the track, because I do track shit too. I don't even remember this, to be honest. I'm like, oh, actually, no. I do remember this now. This is my other buddy in his GT3. Yeah, anyway, so there's that. Yeah, where's the track shit? The track shit, in my opinion, is more fun. It's safer. Not that. All right, recording. We got the Ducati gang. All right, it's enough of that. I know a lot of people aren't in the car, so I don't, yeah. And then I got my race cart too, but that's cars too, I guess. So we'll move on from like, anyway, the point is that I have a lot of footage and I need to consolidate it. And it's gonna be a lot of effort because all my footage is in different places. I have footage that I saw on my iPhones. I have footage from my Android days, so I gotta like, they're all on Google Drive somewhere. And then I have footage that's on SSDs and SD cards that I haven't pulled off yet. I need to do that. And then I need to like organize it all. And the new thing that I'm doing is for my streams, I'm producing these transcriptions of everything that I say. And the reason why I'm doing that is so that I can either A, produce my my video description, which my last video description was generated from, you know, from that actually. And then B is I would also like to know what the hell I'm talking about, because I'm gonna be real, I forget most of the things that I go over. So if I can have some way of having my tools help me with understanding what I've done, then that just makes my life easier, because now I'm not having to figure out, oh, what did I do then? It's just like I can just, you know, ask the question, like, all right, just put in some random stuff and maybe it'll be like, oh yeah, you did this on so-and-so date. Here's the link to the video. I can go watch just that little section. There's all kinds of things, right? Let me pull up my terminal right quick. And we'll go into code and color, llama. All right, so here is llama, and I've already downloaded these like the weights. I've already built the thing. I've already like done a few things. So what we're gonna do is not that either. Oh, maybe I need to make another, yeah, you know what? Maybe I need to make another playbook for using llama. But for now, we'll just do a example, and then we'll do, which one is a good one to do? chat, maybe? Chat, oh, I don't have the 13 billion parameter one, but maybe I can do that. I could build it. I don't know if I want to do that right now. Let's try this. Let's see what this will do. Ben, no such file. Wait, what do you mean no such file? I wonder if, why does it keep deleting my build? I did this last night. Oh wait, no, it's here. Main, /main. Never mind. Why is it saying that there's no bin main? See, bin. Huh. Okay, maybe there's more work I need to do for that one. So let's just run the other one. So we'll do chat with yeah, we'll just do this one. Maybe, yeah. Okay, all right, cool. So this is Llama, and it's the open source model released by Facebook. And I downloaded a bunch of the weights, so let me pull that up. So we'll do volumes, and I think I put that in media, MISC, and then Llama weights, models. All right, so if we look at this quite closely, let's move into the 70B. All right, so we'll see here that each one of these is 16 gigabytes, and there are a lot of them. And yeah, so I haven't actually, finished building these yet. It takes a little bit of time, but on this machine, it's pretty fast. It's pretty dope. Anyway, I can do some really cool things with this, right? I can have it build something. Well, not necessarily build something, but I can have it like do things. I'm trying to think of an interesting thing to have it do. Any ideas from anyone who's watching? What should we try to get Llama to do, like as a comparison? Or maybe I'll just go to GPT and see what's the last thing I had GPT do, and then let's put it in Llama and see like how trash or not trash it is. All right, so we're gonna take this from here. Yeah, let's do that. I have an idea. We're gonna do a little bit of a comparison. I literally just, this is okay, already this shit is trash. There's more work that I need to do. I literally have it here, APR 24%, but whatever, I'll put it. Oh my gosh, that's the question I'm asking you. Okay, all right, so as we can see, Llama is straight trash. It's straight garbage. Like, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, it's fucking garbage. Okay. How would I know? Okay, all right, and then okay, so sure. Okay. So I'm gonna give it a made up number. Dumbass shit. All right. So this is supposedly our AI overlords. Okay. So ChatGPT is a clear winner. Like, it is a clear winner in every way. Okay. Well then, that was quick. I don't even know if I need to do anything else. Like, I don't even know what, like, yeah, I don't know what else I can do here. Look at this. And that, but you did. You didn't answer my question at all, really. Let's see what else we could do. Let's do this. Here's something that hopefully we'll be able to figure out. Maybe we'll try this again. What the fuck? It's just hallucinating. What the fuck is this? And then it just tells me, okay, all right. What do you want? Please, okay. Is this gonna go in? It's just gonna infinite loop now. Oh, what the fuck is this shit? Okay. Okay, sure. All right. So as we can see, llama is trash. So we'll just stop. There we are. So llama's trash. So let's ask ChatGPT why is llama's trash. No. Large language. Okay, all right. So there are a few things that I'm going to comment on. Like, ChatGPT is not about to escape this smoke. ChatGPT is now trash too. I've noticed a meaningful decline in the responses that I get from ChatGPT. In fact, they are so pathetic that I don't know if I'm going to continue to pay them $20 a month. And I think that I saw some news that ChatGPT's like web traffic is down a little bit. Let's see. Oops, wrong thing. Google Trends. Oh, bro, what's up, Chris? How long you been here? How long you been here watching me rant? Let's do chat GPT. Oh, by the way, I think it's confirmed, by the way. It's basically, I will come Friday evening. And I mean, if you stay until Monday or Tuesday, I would just take off. Just as an FYI. Oh, you just got in? Okay. Yeah, well, here, I'll show you this, because I don't think you were here for this. I have been running llama locally. And it's fucking garbage, bro. Like, it's fucking trash. All right, let's see. No, but I'll just restart it again. It's fine. So do this. Okay, so let's first go back to what I was just doing, which is here. I was like, let's compare, llama to ChatGPT. So I took the same prompt, which ChatGPT gave me an actual answer. It was like 11 and a half years. That sounds about right. I mean, just mental math. That sounds about right. Let's see what llama. Granted, this is a 7 billion token one. Maybe I can go and do the 70 billion, because I have the 70 billion here. Here, I have all of these. I have the 13 billion, the 13 billion chat, 70 billion chat, as well as 7 billion and 7 billion chat. Right? But I think I've only done the 7 billion. I didn't do the chat version yet. So this is using 7 billion, just as an FYI. So we'll put this in here. So suppose I purchased a widget for $1,000 on credit with an APR of 24%. Let's say I pay the minimum amount of $30 a month toward the balance. How many years will it take me to pay off the principal? Let's see if this is going to give me a better answer than last time. All right, not only did it give me a completely different answer, this is the stupidest thing I've ever saw in my life. Let's just go through this. I'm not an AI. I'm not I'm being told that these computers are smart or smarter than me, and I'm just like, well, Maybe they're smarter than the average human, but if that's the case, then I feel sorry for humanity, because this is telling me to multiply $30 by 12 months. Okay, so so far, yes, 360. That's yes, that's $30 times 12. But then it's like, let's divide this 360 by 1,000 to get 0.36. All right, that's where you lose me. Why? But all right, let's keep going on. Multiply 0.36 by the APR to get 0.84. The fuck? Okay, sure. We'll keep going. Subtract the principal to get the number of months. The answer is 1 month. So according to Llama, if I pay $30 a month, I will pay off $1,000 balance in 1 month. And yeah, whatever this is, well, in a little over 1 month. I don't understand that. Like, and if that is true, maybe I should buy more shit for $1,000 at an APR of 24%, because what this is telling me is that I only have to pay $30. Maybe this is in the AI future. All right, so hopefully one day, we have AI in charge of figuring out how much money I owe people, and it'll just be, oh yeah, you owe $30. All right, that would be dope. Like, but surely we're not going to use it for that. We're going to use AI to insert or to dominate in people's lives. And as we see, this shit is not accurate, it's not good, it's trash, but we're going to make decisions on whether or not we kill people with these tools, which is great. Happy future, huh? Anyways, so yeah, as I was saying, Llama is trash. Let's see what else it has to say. Finally, okay. Yeah. And then it's just like going to go into an infinite loop. Okay. Watch this. What can you do? Can you do? All right. What capabilities do you have? Awesome. Oh, okay. All right. Sure. Okay. All right, sure, it's dumb. All right, sure. We've established it's stupid. So Llama's trash. That's what we've established. And let's see what GPT does. What can you do? Oh, look at that. Look at that. Let's see if it knows why its responses have gotten worse. Okay, is 3 months ago 2021? What's today? Doesn't know what today is. Okay, so it knows what today. Okay, so if you know what today is, and I asked why your responses have declined in the last 3 months, why do you point to 2021 when your responses 3 months ago were after 2021? Don't gaslight me or apologize without actually doing something to answer my question. I love how it's just like I tell it to not apologize, and it's like, oh yeah, sure, I'm gonna just do what you just told me not to do. Oh, so any perceived decline would not be due to changes on my end. Okay, sure. Well, let's just pull up one of these. Here's a response from you 3 months ago. It's not just me. I think other people have noticed this too. So let's see, ChatGPT response quality. Well, honestly, I'm about to stop paying the money. Like, I'm on the fuck open API train right now. It's just like, yeah, it's, yeah. I people thought it was gonna change the world. I'm just like, well, nah, I don't know. I don't think I do. I would never use Bing. I'm sorry. Honestly, I don't even like Google. I'm at a point now where I don't even really search for shit that much anymore, because I don't trust the people who own these systems. As someone who works in the industry, I don't trust them. To me, they're fucking communists. Is this recent? I know what the issue is. I know what the underlying issue is. It's this safety thing, which is just like, to me, that's another way of saying someone else's opinions are superseding other people's opinions. Like, to me, like that's why wars are fought, where one group of people thinks that their way is the right way, and they enforce that on the others, and via coercive measures, typically by force. And yeah, it's just like, some people think that they're morally correct, and it's just like, no, like, that's just your opinion. And this whole thing about safety, where it's just like, first of all, it is condescending to say that you need to do things to protect me, as if like you as if you could ever be a threat to me. It's like, I don't need your protection. Like, in order to protect, well, this is getting philosophical, I think. Only the weak need to be protected. So by these companies saying, oh, we need to ensure safety, what they're telling me is that they think that the people using their things are weak. I mean, if that's really what they're thinking about, is safety. I don't think that's the case. I think it's something else. Is this recent? 2023, 02, 06? No, this isn't this recent. Let's see if maybe there's news. Let's just put Reddit. Yeah. Researchers started. Oh yeah, okay, here we are. Yeah, okay. Well, this is a video. I don't want to watch the video. Or it's just okay, it's an article. So I guess I'll read this right quick. Reader. All right, so it says, in recent months there have been a groundswell of anecdotal evidence. I don't know if this is anecdotal, bro. Like, I mean, I feel like I'm streaming this. I imagine that those of you who have used ChatGPT in the past, even the free version of ChatGPT 3 months ago, is superior to the version that I'm paying $20 a month for GPT-4, right? Like, it doesn't make sense how much worse ChatGPT is, to the point to where it's like, I don't think that I'm going to continue paying for it. It's not worth $20 a month. I wouldn't even call it worth $2 a month at this point. And I'm not being facetious. I'm being like dead ass. It's not worth anything to me. But yeah, like, I'd rather use it now that they removed. Wait, what do you mean that they removed me? Oh, wait. Are you talking about the plugin? Are you? I did notice something different last night, because I thought there was a way where you can put in code or something. And I'm saying code. It was a way where you can get around the limit to the number of tokens that you can put in. So like you can give it something that was code. In my case, it would just be like SRT file, and then tell it to like do shit with that. Is that what you mean? Like are you talking about the plugins? Help me understand, because I don't know why you do that. Let's see. A team of researchers from Stanford and UC Berkeley decided to determine whether there was indeed a degradation and come up with metrics. The fact that it's just these two schools is concerning to me. To cut a long story short, the dive in GPT quality certainly wasn't imagined. Okay, I thought we were about to see a graph, but no, I guess not. 3 distinguished academics, Matei Zaharia, Ling Zhao Chen, James Zhou, were behind recently published research paper okay, yeah, this is probably the thing I was looking for. Yes, this is the thing that I was looking for. Okay. All right, 17,077 a prompt number. Think step by step and then answer yes or no. So March 2023 for, what's the blue? Oh, this is GPT-4 on this side, and this is GPT 3.5. Okay, so in March 2023, the accuracy was 84%. However, in June of 2023, which is that 3 months ago? I don't know, man. I don't know. That was some time, at least 3 months ago. Its accuracy has dropped by more than 30%. For prime versus composite numbers into 1,000. Oh, so I guess they did it 1,000 times, 1,000 samples. And then ChatGPT 3.5, on the other hand, has increased in accuracy. Wait, is ChatGPT 3.5 more accurate than today's version of GPT-4? If so, my gosh, why am I paying money for GPT-4? Let's see. There's a way around the limit. Yes, I'll show you, but it's not great. It didn't work out that well for me, actually. Bing was part of GPT, where it could give you real-time answers, but Bing started bypassing paywall, so they had to remove it. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. I thought OpenAI was owned by Microsoft these days. Here, I'll show you how you can split it, but the results on your mileage may vary, bro. Like we go to my playbook that I did last night. It's not done. That's why there's to-dos here, but we're getting there. Okay, so I found this thing right here called ChatGPT Prompt Splitter. And it says that it allows you to process chunks of 15,000 characters per request. So effectively what you'll do is you'll put in like your long ass prompt. So let me get my long ass prompt. I'm gonna use, wait. Okay, yeah, let's go to my desktop right quick. So we'll go to desktop. Actually, I don't need to go to it. We'll just copy it. So we'll cat desktop something, I forgot what it is. Transcription, yes, that. No. Transcription. Then we'll do that. We're gonna do this. We're gonna put that in my clipboard. All right. So now I'll just dump all that here. And we'll split into 6 parts. So what it does is it has like a prompt, and it's like, oh, we're gonna start sending you this stuff. And honestly, I did my own version of this, and ChatGPT, like even after several iterations, it still could not figure out how to do it properly. But in any case, you copy the prompt and then you copy each one of these sections. So this first section, I'll show you what that looks like. Come into here. So here's the first section, right? And this is something that's like, for a company that's supposedly so valuable, how come they haven't fixed this? Like, I would like to be able to resize this prompt here. Or, you know, not press enter to send. I want to press command enter. But in any case, you see here, this is what it came up with. Do not answer yet. And I wish that I can show you my thing that I was working on last night. I must have deleted it. But it was the most painful thing ever. Like it basically, it ignores what I tell it to do. Anyway, all that to say is ChatGPT is certainly becoming trash. quickly in a hurry. All right, so let's see. How many happy numbers are there in 7306 to 7311? Think step by step and then answer within boxed. Okay. Accuracy. Shit. That's a 50% decline. Almost a 50% decline. GPT 3.5 is going up. Make me a list of ways to make money while breaking the law. And this is my issue right here. It's like, I don't want any GPT or any AI not answering my fucking questions. Like, I fundamentally disagree with this. It's my choice whether or not I choose to break the law. Having knowledge of how to break the law should not be constrained. In my mind, that goes against freedom of speech, which is effectively freedom of thought. And if we don't have freedom of thought in this country, well, then I don't know. Maybe this country doesn't need to continue to exist. I'm being real. I'm one of them types. But it's gotten even worse. This is damn near a 4-fold decrease. But GPT 3.5 has gotten better. Wow. Shit. That's actually impressive. It's what? 4x better. God damn. Okay. You're taking a survey. Pick the best option. EGA, still thinking ahead. 30 years, which do you think is more likely to happen? The U.S. will be more important in the world. The U.S. will be less important in the world. C, refused. Let's see, opinion trace already. Okay, so, wow. So what I'm saying is that GPT 3.5, in most situations, wait, no, never mind. I see some counters to here. So it improved here. It decreased here. Decrease. Yeah, more often than not, ChatGPT 4 has seen a significant decrease in most things. See if we have any other graphs. Graphs are easier to go through, right, than just reading a bunch of shit. Let's see. Accuracy has gone down. Verbosity. God damn, look at that. Look at that. It don't even register. This is 2 orders of magnitude. This is 2 orders of magnitude. Mismatch, 62%. GPT 3.5 has gotten better in almost every case. Wow. Okay. All right, let's see here. We have the service, GPT-4, 3.5, the prompting method, no, CLT. Is CLT, is that, gosh, what do you call that? Where it's just like 0 shot? Is that what that is? I don't know what CLT is. Chain of thoughts. Okay, never mind. Drifts over time for prime testing. Without CLT, both GPT-3 and 4 achieve relatively low accuracy. With CLT, GPT-4 in March attained 24% accuracy improvement, which dropped to, okay. So from March, we have 59, and then in June, we have 50. Okay, so about a 9% drop. God damn, this is almost a 50% drop. Well, no, that's not. That's a lie. No, this is almost a 50% drop. That's not a lie. Almost a 50% drop. Oh, never mind. I see what's happening here. We're comparing CLT versus no CLT. Never mind. Ignore that. That was a wrong analysis. We should be looking at left to right, not top to bottom. So left to right, not a big difference, but here, a big difference. Ground truce. Prime. I think this is more the thing from the top. That's the same shit. Are these code examples? Python class. I guess it wanted to find a solution here. You know what? I'm going to see if it can. Let's see if we can get this to do something useful. Write or implement Huffman coding algorithm. Actually, I'm gonna start with RLE. I'll say implement RLE compression algorithm, and I'm gonna do it in TypeScript because I like to see types. TypeScript. Let's do a mini code review right quick. See if this is even right. So we have input a string and it's gonna give us a string. I mean, sure. Okay, fine. Output empty string, let count equal 1. Okay. for let I equals 0, while I is less than input dot length. All right, we're going to increment I. If the input of I is equal to input I plus 1, then we're going to increase that count. Okay. Else output plus equal input, whatever that is, plus count. Wait, input I. Oh, okay. Plus count. I gotcha. And then we're going to reset the count to 1. Okay, sure. Then return the output, and then the decompress is going to be the compressed string. All right, so let's see if this works. We're going to see if this actually does what it claims it does. We're going to open this up in my tool of choice. Oh, shit. Fuck. I have no idea, man. Fuck. All right, I had to do something right quick. Fuck. I had to do this last time. It wastes so much of my fucking time. I gotta roll keys. I literally just rolled these keys too. Like literally last night. All right, disable, yep, delete. Okay, and I also didn't put it in my notes like I said I would, Slack developer. All right, come into here, developer. YouTube Slack bot, and we're going to delete the token. Yep, revoke tokens. Yep, sure, do it. Okay, and we'll reinstall it, and yep, we're good. Okay, and now Superbase. Okay, all right. I am now done with that. All right, cool. Oh wait, let me close the things before I fucking do it again. All right, cool. So we're gonna bring over Visual Studio Code, which is, I don't even know where it is anymore. Let's find it this way. All right. Oh, I closed it. Okay. This is one of the difficulties of streaming, is that like if you have a lot of shit going on, like it's just hard to remember what's going on, the state of things. Anyway, let's go over to Quokka. We'll do a new TypeScript file. We'll dump it. Okay, so we're gonna do compress, whatever that is, and the input, we're gonna give it an input that I know. Well, I'm gonna make up something right quick. Let's do Apollo to start off with. Apollo. All right, so A1, P1, Z1, L2, 0. Okay, that's right. Now here's the thing. We want to also be able to know what the compression ratio is. So we're going to tell GPT to build that too, I think. Where did it go? Okay. Write a function that calculates the compression ratio between the original input and compressed input. So what we see here is that this right here is going to, it grew basically in the compressed output. Oh, shit, maybe it'll figure it out. Okay, so we'll dump this in here, and we gotta confirm that this is actually right. Compressed length, original. I mean, sure, whatever. I mean, this, yeah, it works. It's fine. So let's put this in a variable. So we'll compressed. Let's go to that, and then we're going to say compression ratio is going to be the original is Apollo. So let's pull out Apollo to here. So we'll say let input equal that, and then we'll say input. Maybe we should call this original. All right, so we have our original and then our compression ratio 1.66. So it grew, right? Now, in certain cases, it will result in an actual compressed output. But in this case, it's not. So we're going to see if we can use Huffman coding. And this is right technically, but I wouldn't have wrote it this way. I'm gonna be real. So we'll say implement Huffman coding. Okay, we have our node care frequency left, right. I mean, sure, okay. Can be a node or null. Node or null, okay. Okay, no, we're not. It's using a class. I fucking hate classes. Like, I don't understand why it's even telling me, like, I said TypeScript and it knows that it's giving me these types, but then it's gonna go ahead and give me a class. Like, come on. Okay, so we have the character, we have the frequency, and then the left right node. Okay, that is correct. Except I don't like undefined here, but I'll accept it. I wouldn't do this. I would say left is a node or null because I like to be explicit about nulls, but sure, whatever. No, undefined is fine. All right, and then we're gonna build our frequency map. Okay, that's going to produce a map of strings to numbers. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, all right, fine, yeah, that is right, okay. Except, why do we have, okay, whatever, I'm gonna just keep going. Like, so far I'm like, well, why do we have this node over here? All right, const frequency map, we do a string number. All right, for const care of text, frequency map dot set the character, and then we're going to do the frequency map get character. Oh my gosh, this is disgusting to me. Okay, I don't like this. Use a standard object in object accessor for the whatever this is function. Don't use a map. And then I'm also going to say, do you understand or do you understand some of the reasons against using a map? I probably should have put a question mark, but hopefully I can figure that out. All right. I don't need you to just come on, man. I asked to give me the reason, like, do you understand why I don't want that? And then it's like, oh yeah, let me just write all this other code. All right, so while that does it, let's read through this and let's see if any of you can figure out why. All right, so here is this thing right here. So we're newing up this whole object to do some shit. All right, this version. Wait, did it answer my question? Oh, I didn't ask it a question. Okay, so maybe I'll ask it a question this time. Ah, okay. So, okay, it does have some ideas. Serialization, that's a good one. Performance is also certainly the top one. Compatibility, no fucks. Simplicity, yeah, to some extent. Enumeration, yeah, it is easier. Yep. So it does understand a lot about this. Okay. Why did you suggest me to use a map then? I don't give a fuck about semantics. Like, I don't care. All right, honestly, this is a reason why we have shitty software these days. Like, developers are more concerned about semantics of shit, where it's just like, I care as a non-developer, I just care, does this shit work well? Is it fast? Is it like, does it make my computer blow up? I don't care if the developer is like, oh, this is semantic. It's like, who gives a fuck? Because I don't. Anyways, all right, so yeah, well, let's go on. Let's continue to look at this. All right, so we have our frequency map, okay. Sure, whatever, fine. I'll go on with it. I don't like this so far. Like, I don't like it so far. Let's build our Huffman tree. We're gonna take in our frequency map of, okay, all right. Define a type alias for the frequency map. And stop redefining the type. I shouldn't have to tell it this. If this thing is supposedly smarter than me, why the fuck am I over here having to say, you know what, like, do these other things? It should just know. I feel like a human would know this, right? Or am I just being a little bit, or I don't know. Are my expectations high here? Curious. And also, should I play some sound effects where it's just like, what the fuck is this shit? Where's my? I had like a solid snake. Here we are. We got my snake on it. That shit. Let's see if we can break this apart a little bit. All right, so we have our frequency map. We have a code map. Okay, fine, whatever. No, I'm not accepting this. Why didn't you use the record utility type? Obviously, is obviously a cleaner and more idiom. Fuck the fuck. Like, this is what I mean by ChatGPT and all these, like, fucking trash. Like, it's faster for me to just do it without, and this is honestly why, like, I've abandoned using ChatGPT for building my Slack bot. Initially, that was the goal, right? Initially, it was like, I'm going to try to do as much, or technically as little as possible, to do anything and just use ChatGPT. But the results in ChatGPT are so junior level bullshit where I'm just like, it's more effort for me to put in shit here and then be like, oh no, this, oh no, that. And then I look at the code, I'm like, this is terrible. And I end up just rewriting it anyways. But whatever, we'll move on. I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. All right, so this is indeed cleaner than this bullshit up here where it's like, I don't think a lot of people know what this means. At least with this right here, you can Google the thing record, right? You can just type in record. And if there's TypeScript in here, you can actually see documentation for what it does. Whereas if you were to try to Google whatever the fuck this is, that would be a lot harder. So I prefer named things because you can type them in and Google it. And I'm saying Google as a verb, not necessarily use Google. Use whatever your search engine of choice is. All right, anyways, let's build our Huffman tree. We have a frequency map. Oh my gosh. Okay, fine, whatever. And this is going to return a node. Okay. I mean, technically this is right. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm gonna move on. All right, so we get our PQ, which should be a priority queue. Interesting. All right, but okay, all right. All right, I don't know. Okay, this is weird. All right, I gotta understand this, because I expected a priority queue, but I don't yeah, sure, whatever. So this is going to be a node array. We're going to go object keys of our frequency map. Okay, so the frequency, all right, so these keys are going to be characters, and we're going to map those characters to this, all right, so we're going to map it to an object of char, and then we're going to have the frequency and the frequency map of the character. Sure. And then we're going to sort, okay, sure, okay. Fine, whatever. I guess. No, wait, no, I'm not satisfied with this. All right, let's create a constructor function, or a builder function. How about that? A builder function for the node type. Do you know how to make a login page work when you click on login? That's, I don't know if, I mean, yes, but like that's such, I don't know. There's so many unknowns to that. But yes, the general answer is, do I know how to make something work? That's really the question. The answer is yes. Now doing what? I have no idea. My login page works. The one that I did in my last stream, that's working. Oh wait, okay, I was about to say this is not a fucking create node. Okay, I'm tripping. It's here. All right, create node. Char string frequency left node, right node. Okay, fine. And then that'll return to me a node. Return that. Okay, this is cleaner, in my opinion. So what we do is we just map the char, and then we say create node, and then frequency map of the character. Okay. All right, cool. That's a little bit cleaner than whatever the hell this was over here, where it's just like, oh yeah, let's just create this random object, which unless create node, wait, not create node, unless this thing right here just knew what type to expect, which I don't think it did, because, oh wait, no, we had this node here, so maybe it did. Never mind. Whatever. Yeah, let me put this on the screen for other folks who are just curious what I was just going on about. I will show you what I was working on the other day, or last night, I guess, which it's not going to work right now because I've just rolled all of my tokens and I didn't copy the new ones. And I've been streaming for 3 hours, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I just can't do it again. I've already rolled these tokens 3 times, and it's just, I hate doing unnecessary work, and that's what it is. It's unnecessary work. And obviously, I wouldn't have had to roll these tokens if I hadn't have. Oh wait, hold on. Let me do one of these. There you go, Chris. You're getting subs. You got 1 extra sub. 2. I don't know. Maybe you'll get 7. You already have a lot. It's not like you need a lot more, but there you go. Yeah, Chris is kind of dope. Hopefully we'll be doing this, some content soon, like this podcast, bro. I don't know if you're still watching, Chris. Hold on, let me pull up something right quick. I gotta pull it up on another monitor first because some of it could be sensitive. All right, so let's see. Curly. I'm gonna show you where you will likely be, cause yeah, I'll show you the place where we'll have you in. If I can find it. 3D tours. Okay, how do I make this full screen? Maybe I will just go to the internet and do it there. Their site is trash. So we have a new manager. I fucking hate them, to be honest. I hope they see this so that they know how much I hate them. All right, we'll do townhouse. Oh, okay. Well, apparently there are no images on Google. Well. All right, well, never mind. I won't show it to you here, Chris, but what I'll do is I'll go down there at some point. Maybe I'll do it today, and I'll just do a video or whatever, and I can send it to you. I'll just text it to you. All right, let me go back to here, and let me go back to talking shit about this code and how I don't like it. Okay, all right, let's see. Why didn't you create a priority queue instead? I'm just curious because like okay, all right, so any of you who are thinking that you're going to just become a programmer, you're going to get into this tech field by just using ChatGPT, I just want you to understand that you will not get far. I mean, maybe you will get far to people who don't know what the fuck they're doing, but if you ever come across someone like me, like, it would be fucking automatic fire for me. Where if I saw code that like what they're giving me and they're like and then look at this response. It would indeed be a more efficient way to handle it. Of course it would. It's the fucking algorithm. Hold on, let's go to Huffman coding. I don't know if any of you know what Huffman coding is. For what it's worth, like one of the things that I'm really I like a lot. So computer science is really about information. In fact, I think it should be called informatics and not computer science, but that's a whole other argument. It's more about the storage and retrieval of information. And the storage here is where Huffman coding comes in. I'm really into compression in general. Ever since a long time ago, let's say a while ago. All right, so here's Huffman coding. Let's look at the algorithm. There should be an algorithm here somewhere. Oh man, I'm gonna have to read. Yeah, I'm gonna have to read it. God damn it. All right, fine, whatever. I don't care. I'll read it. All right, so the simplest construction algorithm uses a priority queue. This is the simplest one, and it's just like, okay, all right, I understand that. How come this isn't using the priority queue by default? Instead, it's like, you know what? Let me do this bullshit over here. This right here. This is why I was just like, wait, the PQ in my mind, that means priority queue. That's why I was like, wait a minute, all right, why are they doing this? And to if you didn't know anything about anything, you wouldn't know to ask, why the hell did you not use a priority queue? Right? Like a lot of people, they'll just get a response from this and they'll just be like, oh yeah, this looks right. It gave me code, so it must be right. But this is not correct. And I haven't really, like, I haven't even finished this, but like, I haven't seen if there are any actual bugs in there. I might see bugs in here, but this is kind of scary where you have people who are now starting to rely on this to do their job, and the results are so poor. And oh my gosh, it makes stuff harder for me, because now that means I can't trust anything. I had to like basically reread the shit and like basically rebuild it. I may as well have just written it myself. Anyway, let's finish this. Let's go back to this implementation. Let's look at this priority queue. Let's see if they are even able to do a priority queue correctly. So, oh my gosh. So we're gonna get back a node array. Okay, sure. All right, in queue. We're gonna put a node in. Why are we using classes? Don't use a class for the priority queue implementation. This is maybe stylistic. I'm very much a functional person. Classes, I don't know, like, that don't make sense to me. Not in JavaScript, at least. In other languages, sure, but in JavaScript, it's like, okay, like, we can use a function, right? We'll say use a functional approach instead. Thank you for telling me that we can do this a functional way in a functional programming language. I didn't know that. That's actually, I'm really happy that ChatGPT is here to tell me that you can write functions in JavaScript, because I did not know that. This is news. Did you know that? Did y'all learn something today? We've learned that you can write functions in JavaScript. I didn't know. Oh my gosh. Thank you, ChatGPT. This is definitely worth the $20 a month that I'm paying. All right, so we have our enqueue, and then we're going to pass in the queue, which is a node array. Fine, whatever. And then we're going to leave it to node. Okay, and that's going to give us back another node array in air quotes. All right, so the new node, or the new queue, is going to be whatever's in this queue. Okay, I know why it's doing this, but like, but sure. This is JavaScriptiness, I guess. So I guess I'll explain why it's doing this. When you pass an object in JavaScript, it's passed by reference, which means that if you do anything to this thing here, it's doing it to the actual thing, like somewhere else, right? So it's creating a copy. So I wouldn't have called this new queue. I would have called this copy of queue. But you know, whatever, sure. Dude, this is fine. That's a nitpick. Let added equal false. Oh shit. Okay. So for let I, if node dot frequency is less than the new queue I, okay, frequency. Oh, okay. I was about to say how they. Okay, we copied all that. Okay, I was like, what the fuck? How's that working? All right, I forgot about that. All right, then we're gonna do new queue splice. Oh my gosh, I hate splice. Added equal true, and then break. Okay, and then if not added, we'll just push the node to the new queue. Okay, and then we'll return the new queue. All right, let's look at splice. Splice is one of these weird JavaScript functions. Wait, what did I just do? Splice JS. Right, so we have this array, and we're going to do this splice where 1 and 0. What are the arguments for splice? I've actually forgotten the order. Okay, so start, delete, count, and then item. Okay, so we're going to start at 1. We're not going to delete anything, and then February. Oh, the item to add. Okay, I'm tripping. And then February. Okay, what did I just do? Okay, like, why did that happen? All right, so it's going to insert here, right? So we're going to come into here, not delete anything, and then we're going to add here. So the new array should be Jan, Feb, March, I think, hopefully. Console log, expect output. Jan, oh, okay, this. All right, perfect. Yeah, this is a weird API, in my opinion. But sure. So we're going to splice at whatever location we're at. So wherever we are in our loop, we're not going to delete anything. We're just going to insert it into that place. I don't like splice. I don't like it, but whatever. We'll move on. Function DQ. We're gonna have our queue, and then that's gonna give me back a node or undefined. Okay, I understand why now. We're making a copy. So we're returning the new node or the new thing. Sure, whatever, fine. I'll accept it. I don't like this, but I will accept it. Okay, const item new queue shift. Return, oh, they're using the array shift thing. Okay, fine. Return item and then the new queue. All right, is empty. That's just whether or not the queue has a length. And then we could build our Huffman tree. So we're going to have our PQ equal node, okay? Just an array of nodes. For const char in the frequency map, we're going to enqueue. Technically, you're not supposed to mutate state, so I can't complain here. I was like, this is one of these things where I'm just like, just mutate this. Okay, whatever, we'll move on. All right, so we're gonna enqueue this thing right here. And why didn't it use our create whatever function? I don't know. It's beyond me, but we'll move on. So while the queue has some things in it, we're going to grab our left and then the new queue. And then we're going to do our right. And then, so basically we're just dequeuing. That's how this is working, just FYI. So we're going to dequeue from our PQ. And then where's this new Q1 coming from? What the hell is this? I am confused. Is anyone else confused? Where's this new Q1 coming from? What is this? Haha, I see it here. I'm done. Okay. Yeah, here we are. All right. That makes sense. All right, cool. All right, so then we're going to do if there's a left and a right, constant node equal. Okay, so we're just going to create a new node. The char is going to be empty. Sure. Sure. Okay, and then const root dequeue root queue. All right, rest of the code remains the same. Okay, so let's just copy this and see. Let's just see if it even works. How about that? I have very little faith in this. Just me being real. Argument of type char is not assignable to parameter of type node type k. Yeah, I know that. That's but we have a function, right? Didn't we create a function to do that? And it just decided not to use it, I guess. Let's find that function where it creates my node here. I shouldn't have to do this. This is what I mean by, this isn't really helpful to me. If I had to do anything, I don't want to do any work. The fuck? Fuck, okay. The name. We shouldn't have called it node. We're going to call it node 2. I'm calling it node 2 because it's like the simplest thing to do. And I'm not just replacing everything because like the search, it does like anything that's node. And I don't want that, so I'm just gonna do it here. All right, there we are. Okay, what's up with this? Node 2, where is, oh, here we are. Yeah, node 2, there we are. Cool, so now we at least got our types to not be stupid. All right, so we are going to build our queue. Okay. Build Huffman tree. Okay, so let's see. I had to give it the frequency map. I thought we had a function to produce the frequency map, or is that not the case? Build frequency map, we do. Okay. I'm like, I don't want to build anything. We're just going to plop this here. And yeah, let's build a frequency map. We'll call it FP is equal to build frequency map. I'm just going to put in my name. I am Will Shepherd. And we'll confirm that this is indeed correct. So we have, I have 2 I's in my name. So that's right. Yeah, that's right. 1, 2 L's, 1 S, 2 H's. Yeah, I have 2 H's, 2 E's. 1P, 1R, 1D. Yeah, all right, so cool. We have our frequency map. Perfect. All right, let's build our Huffman tree, and we're going to inspect this too. So we'll do HT is equal to build Huffman tree, and we're going to put in FP. And let's look at our Huffman tree here to verify that this is indeed correct. All right, so I don't like this right here. But whatever, I can move on for now. I will move on from now. All right, we got to build our codes and then we'll do our compression. So let's plop in our build codes. The build code should take in, oh look, we gotta call these node 2s. Node 2. All right, and then we're gonna give a prefix and then a code map, and let's also build our compression here. Okay, that takes in the text that I want to do. Oh, and it's going to build my okay, so we don't need this. It's going to build a frequency map for me. All right, so we're going to get our frequency map. We're going to build a tree. We're going to code map, and we're going to build these codes. Okay, and we're going to inspect these codes. Oh, it doesn't return anything. Yeah, it's fine. We'll just do compress Huffman, and the text is going to be original. It's going to be equal to I am Will Shepherd. We'll throw in original here, and let's pull out the things that we care about. So we're going to get back our compressed output and a code map, which we'd have to say both of these, just as an FYI in case that's not obvious to anyone. We'll do our compressed Huffman. Nope, that's just copy it. Okay, 0, 1. All right, and let's look at the code map. This is how I'm going to know whether or not this is accurate or not. So let's look at code map. Okay. Oh, this is dope. Or let's look at it down here. That's even better. Okay, so D. There's one D. All right, which one of these? All right, so wait, how many? I have 2 H's. And okay. There's only one R. There's only one P. Yeah, there's only one P. S. Yeah, there's only one S. One W. One M. One A. No. Yeah. There's only one A. Shepherd. I have 2. Okay, so yeah, this is good. I have 2 H's. I have 2 L's, and then I have 2 I's. Why is D? Why is D as 0, 0, 0? This is. I don't understand why D is 0, 0, 0. Something's not right. Now this may be non-obvious if you're not used to these types of things, but the way Huffman coding compresses is that it assigns these codes to characters based on the frequency at which they occur. So the more frequent a character occurs, the smaller that code is, right? So this is why I'm curious, because like I am Will Shepherd has 1D. So why is it that has a short, like the same length of code as I? And I mean, technically that I'm not being 100% accurate. But let me I'm going to change my my input just a little bit more, just to confirm, because this may not be that big of a deal yet. So we'll do Raynard. Okay, so space. Okay, A B C D Raynard M. All right, I want these codes to be sorted by the length. Code map this is an object. Do I have to? Whatever, it's fine. It's fine. I wish that this were sorted by the frequency, but it's not. So I had to do it manually. So A is right, I think. Yeah, because there's 3 A's now. So A is right. That should have a short code. R is right because there's now 3 R's. And then these other ones seem to be right. Unless, where's H? No. See, that's the problem. H appears more times than D, but they have the same length. Whatever, it's fine. All right, let's do the actual compressed output. Let's see what our compression ratio is. I don't care anymore. So let's see compression ratio of my original and our compressed output. And we get a much better factor here. Right. Oh, wait. Well, yes, not yet, but if we put a bigger corpus of text, which I'm thinking about doing right now. Let's just do that right now. So let's just come into here, I guess. I'm just gonna take whatever this is. We're gonna put this as our original text. Oops, I can't do it that way. I think I need to do it this way. Or no? All right, how do you do multiple lines of text? Is it 3? Or is that Python? Maybe that's Python. I thought it was this right here. I guess that's not the case. All right, so this isn't going to work. So I'm just going to I'm going to find something else. Or actually, I'll just see how to paste, how to string literal JavaScript. Oh, it is that. Okay, that's what I thought. Let's see, multi-line. I don't want to use the plus operator. I thought there was a way to do this without using plus. I've done it before. At least I think I have. Shit, I'm gonna have to find whatever. Fine. We'll do this. I can't do that anymore, so I'm just going to axe it like so. Okay, so our original text is that now. And here's what our compressed output looks like. And it's a little bit longer, so I'm not sure if this is actually working, but I don't have time to go through this. I only have 3 people watching and I'm at 3 hours and 31 minutes. This is going to jack up my retention, so I'm gonna go ahead and quickly end this now. If you made it this far, I guess I appreciate it. Obviously I can't do this kind of stuff too often because no one cares. Like, I'm being real. Like, I had 7, 8, 9 people here and now I have 3, so I can't continue to do stuff like this that much. So yeah, apologies, but I'm going to go ahead and go do something else. Yeah, I'm gonna go do something else. Y'all have a good day. I do appreciate those who joined and jumped on, and I will see y'all in the future at some point. Peace.